Mic gua. Halo semuanya, anjing rambut gua sih jelek banget sih anjing. Pengen cukur tapi mager gitu loh cuy. Apa ya? Pengen cukur tapi mager gitu. Menurut kalian gimana? Tidur. Keren tuh hoodie. Keren. Halo Ren. Kota. Telat nggak Bang Mamba. Kota nanti cuy. Kalau rame ya. Lah YouTube doang cok, nggak ada Twitch-nya. Menurut kalian siapa yang menang nih cuy? Boom Fancy siapa yang menang nih menurut lu pada? Nonton di mana? Di Esl. Apa Ya yang mau bet ya. Betting sudah dibuka cuy. Gak ada yang mau bet manja nih. Gak ada yang mau dukung ini. Boom. Siapa di sini yang udah beli bundle cuy? Bundle baru. Bagus nggak sih? Ada nggak kira-kira yang mau beliin? Gue lihat sih bandelnya ada efek ya. Jelek serius. Asli ini jelek. Gong kok defense sabar anjing, intro dulu bos. Belum mandi ya? Belum. Haha. Mager cok, nggak kemana-mana juga. Emang jelek ini ya. Lamka beliin dong, udah banyak duit juga Lamka. Beliin dong. Emang jelek ini? Warnanya apa aja sih ini? Dust tuh warna apa jing? Biru iya, ungu iya. Pasti orang banyak pilih yang night ya. Melenya bagus emang. Kayak Monkey King ya ini ya, melenya ya. Kayak monyet ya. Nggak bisa cok. Mau beli pakai apa? Kurang itu gua. Nggak ada itunya. Nggak ada pipi. Beliin dong Lamka. Lamka kan baik. Tapi kalau lu udah beli apa milinya kayak sayang anjir, mendingan lu beli bandel nggak sih? Bandelnya berapa sih tadi? Kayak 7.100 ya. Oh iya, ini milinya aja udah berapa? 4.300. Beli pakai gade BBKB motor aja nggak punya bang. Makanya kayak api kamu yang depan. Kita chat.
Match found.
Enggak. Kita tunggu sekitar 4.40, berarti 20 menitan lagi ya. 20 menitan lagi cuy. Kita ada yang manja dulu cuy. Anjing ISO. Beli ya ISO beli ya. Ini karakter ISO sih ya. Boleh keren anjing bentukannya. Kayak cool gitu cok. Anjing. Gue sih kalau banting mas sudah mentok ya. Berarti kita harus aktifin kontrak ISO cuy. People kalau misalnya lu sering main. Tapi kalau dari jauh kayak ini dah Yono. Oh iya. Holy shit, man.
Let us see what they have planned for us this time.
Fight.
Bonne chance, mes amis.
Fuck, man. Mana?
That one's dead.
Busuk gini cuy mainnya. Gara-gara main CS nih nembak. Ya sih nembak bikin rusak.
I win again. Toaster is broken.
Ada enemy everywhere, bro.
One less.
Oh fuck, I headshot. Udah pada rank apa ini? Yang udah main. Ini jangan ditembakin, diem ya, Bek. Anjing. Terganggu hoodie, cok.
Pardon, monsieur.
Orang jago-jago banget ya. Halo, Ati. Shit, man.
Toaster is broken. Away with you.
Renyah ya pala ISO. Alah siapa ini musuh di mana-mana. Aku butuh heal.
Solo.
Yang geser mouse sih jadi aneh. Loh. Kemana?
That's 3.
Betul sekali.
10 kills remaining.
Too slow.
Iso, come here Iso.
Next.
Ini orang mau muncul gak sih?
5 kills remaining.
Terminus.
Wah, Iso sih benar-benar retard jing. Dia bikin step doang, cok, tapi dia nggak datang.
So close.
1 kill remaining.
Iso,
And
auto
4.
pala jing.
One more. This was fun. We should do it again.
Jadi bisa auto buka langsung ini Isonya. Kalau kita punya kingdom. Welcome, little welcome. Rekrut. Apa ribu? Lah. Oh. Aku nggak bisa. Unlock agent during the agent event. Gak dulu deh. Lagi masa event. Oh. Event abis tuh yang mana event? Event ini. Cing silo banget. Event ini. Oh begini. Nah. Aduh kalau beli mendingan gua nabung untuk beli pisau mangkiking, cok. Gak ada yang mau beliin pisau mangkiking kah? Sebulan lagi ya. 200 XP. Holy shit, man. Jam 5 Bu main. Sekitar 12 menit lagi. Oh, oke. 200 XP. Kita DM lagi. Kita DM kali ya, lebih cepat XP ini ya. Buat ini apa XP yang cepat? TDM. Ya, berarti Bang Nathan, Bang Dolce mana? Gak tahu Bang. Dolce tidur dia. Dolce lagi teleponan, cuy.
Match found.
Gue yakin dia udah tukeran WA, jing. Yakin gua tuh anak. Ngapain beli pisau? Aduh, kok Chris. Passion kok Chris, passion. Gue bingung sekarang mau kemana, main apa. Tapi lu kacau sih Bang, kacau spin dia jadi 100. Udah diputar sama dia. Gue bingung kok Chris main apa, CS seru, Halo seru, Apex seru. Jadi berapa jam itu dia? Ini deh, kok Chris request deh. Mau gua main apa? Ntar satu harian gua ngikutin Kokris deh. Streaming game itu. Gue sebenarnya pengen follow, cuma kayak shit gua grinding tuh buat apa gitu loh. Karena nggak ada tim gua kok. Sedih gua. Kamu telat monsterin anjir. Denda ya 20.000. Gue tuh tetap sakit. Sakit kok Chris tembakan gue sebenarnya. Mau udah berumur aja nggak ada yang mau ambil gue. Kok nih? Nah, stun kamu ya. Oh itu nih. 46 jam dikit lah. Gak jadi deh Kokres, lupu gua ternyata. Wah anjir Rena. God. Oh kepala ya Brody.
Baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 20.000. Ya elah cuma 20.
Oke, itu dia loh. Oke. Receh. Makasih ya tanda tanya. Kalau receh lagi dong tambah. Oke, is back aja. Itu dia, bro. Allahu Akbar. Heal dong, ada heal dong. Nah. Apa aja yang penting live. Oke, Chris. Jadi live ya kuncinya ya. Kita subaton aja cuy. Tapi subaton harus ada modalnya nggak sih? Buat bayar internet minimal 5 juta lah.
Headshot.
Horyu baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 500.000.
Woi.
Nih.
Oh thank you kok Chris. Waduh, gue langsung galau gini nembaknya jadi busuk. Makasih banyak kok Chris ya. Anjir kok Chris ini emang benar-benar rezekinya lancar terus dikali 10 sama Tuhan. Kamu baik sekali kok Chris. Aku akan rajin stream mulai sekarang, aku berjanji. Aku akan mengheadshot semua orang di sini. Satu. Untuk Kokres aku akan menjadi S. Ayolah, kamu pick dulu aku, woi. Untung udah S. Apa ya rajin? Asli. Rajin. Tenang ya.
Baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 10.000.
Biar pas 900.
Biar pas 900.
Wah, taruh. Wow, ulti gua. Makasih Bang tanda tanya. Aku semoga rezekinya lancar terus ya. Kalau biar pas 900 boleh lah. 900 donet. Itu dia loh. Ayo kamu satu lagi. Itu dia loh, kamu satu lagi. Rajin stream nih, serius.
Blocking sight. Battle out. Blocking sight.
Itu dia loh, tembakan kentut. Dolce nggak tahu mana dah. Tidur ya. Emang udah draft. Oke. 11 lagi. Aku akan cepetin game ini ya. Dengan AM-ku yang auto headshot. Anjing. Santai cuy. Kok kenapa ada ulti KO Ji? Ah, orangnya mana? 1 2. Aduh, rame bener. Si Jambu jadi jual jadi katanya. Itu dia lah penutupan yang sangat perfect. Mana katanya udah draft? Tadi siapa yang ngomong udah draft? Kamu nipu ya? Kamu bohongin aku ya? Kamu tipu-tipu aku? Mana cok? Kagak ada itu, belum ada draft manja. 600.000 THB itu berapa coy? THB to IDR 600.000. Anjir, 200 juta cok hadiahnya. 200 juta. Juara 2,5. Anjing lumayan coy. 100 juta. Gede banget dong. Kalau mau beli gimana? Ini aja DM Jambu. Ntar gue sampein deh. IG lo apa? Ntar gue bilang ke Jambu. Tuh ada yang nawar gitu. DM aja IG-nya. Cok, gue ditipu cok, belum draft. Jer. Agak lain nih. Potongannya emang berapa cok kalau hadiah dari luar negeri? Pajak itu biasanya kali berapa ya? Dipotong berapa persen ya? Gue lupa deh. Biasanya tuh kalau hadiah-hadiah kayak gini, apalagi online, pasti pas ke Indonya tuh kena pajak langsung. Udah auto. Boom belum main, bentar lagi. Ini lawak sih, jujur. Ini lawak coy, masih salser coy namanya. Udah yang kedua loh. Ini udah dari tanggal berapa dia tanding coy? Salser loh. Terus bagi temennya salser kayak agak berat gitu loh menerimanya coy. Coba nih gue, misalnya gue main arsitek, gue kesel jir. Padahal gue gak kuliah cok, gimana gue jadi arsitek?
Him being on that sentinel alleviates that pressure of having to go in first and try to make the impact early on. This time he can take his time, assess the situations, and we've seen how clutch he has been all throughout.
What the fuck, RP?
The likes of players with incredible caliber in
Oke, Mats. Lu sekalian DM situ aja, DM Jambu.
And that's
Ntar
what
gua
Fancy
kesampein.
United has to deal with.
Oh yeah, and speaking of Fancy United, here they are, the roster. Yes, I can. Fishio,
Gue pede banget, Boom tuh
Suka,
bakal
and Jin. They lost
dominating
a big player
aja,
in the
akan
form of Nizzy,
memenangkan
but
game ini
their,
dengan gampang.
adjustment, I believe that was Cruz that
Gue yakin
changed up with
banget.
him. Still has been doing well. I believe he's
Tapi
also
setuju
using the
adik-adik.
controllers. That's going to be quite the matchup against
Udah
Warrior
DM Jambu,
here.
kayaknya dia
Both
belum
of them
bangun deh
very,
Jambu.
very well known or well
Ditunggu aja,
versed
ntar gua
on the
sampein.
omens. That's going to be something to watch out for.
Ya,
Aside
ini
from that, I think
gambar
there was
lock-lock
also the
gini
fact
bisa
where they were
dihilangin nggak sih?
facing against
Risih gua
Dominatus,
anjing.
where adjustment for Fancy United, even though it was there, felt a little bit slower.
Yeah,
so
well-
that means that up against a team like Boom, yeah, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because you had Cruz slotting on in the newer face of Fancy United, the return of Suka just to fill in some of the roles left behind by Nizzy, by Wukong, and we've seen so far Fancy United, this is their redemption path because they had local struggles in the
Aduh,
Vietnamese scene
kualitas di
as
YouTube
of
nih kayak
recent,
kurang
but
gitu
you
loh.
always have to respect the
Kenapa
caliber of
Twitch
play
nggak ada sih?
courtesy of Jin, one of the best players from Vietnam. You could even say he's debatably the best duelist right right now from that region, and we saw how
ESL.
impactful he was once he found that footing versus Dominatus,
Asia.
clashing against
Oh, ada deh.
Sixki, working really well together with Suka, and
Oh, ada cuy.
coming
Ah,
into-
ini kan
He
perfect
went
nih.
here. Esports.
You went here to the PH.
I know.
You know.
If he got picked up again.
Okay.
That's what I was talking
That's
about.
true. That's true.
Ini baru bersih anjir.
But I feel like there's
Boom,
no
permaben
being out.
sunset.
You see it for now, Sensesra. You see it here for
Oh ngaco
Jin.
lewat tweet saja. Oke Wheeler. Aman.
Local language
Udah
is
DM. Iya Bang Matt.
communication.
Santai.
It's
Ntar gue
fine
sampein.
for fans, and
Oh,
that's why
Jack.
I'm sorry we don't get
Boom,
either
pick
of
Lotus lagi. Dia pede dengan Lotus dia karena kemarin dia sudah
them.
obok-obok
It's a Lotus, which has proven
3 pemain franchise ya Ge.
Oh yeah, and again, it just allows them for so much more
Fancy pick split.
it's just open,
Oh, ini kayaknya seru game ini cuy.
opportunities on how to approach the
Boom,
sites.
Ben,
It
Bine.
feels like there's so much that they're able
Kayaknya
to do on
Heaven
Lotus and not a lot
terakhir,
of
benar
people
kan?
to,
Apa gue
what's the
bilang?
word here, kind of follow up on
Itu
that.
dia loh.
A lot of the presence that we saw
Kenapa
was so
dari
famous with his
kemarin-kemarin lu
tutorials,
nggak live Bang?
with how he adjusted with
Pengen
utilities,
gua
doing
live. Gua tuh
something fancy
gua
about
tuh
picking up split and
selalu
you know,
ngerasa
this map, but if I remember
gini
correctly,
loh.
Haven one of those stronger maps.
Ini kita jujur-jujuran aja ya. Gue tuh sebenarnya pengen live, tapi kan sekarang posisi gue kan kayak karena nggak ada tim ya. Kayak buat main Valo terus tuh kayak bosen gitu. Jadi gue sebenarnya tuh pengen main game lain yang seru-seruan sama temen gitu. Tapi kalau gue nggak main nggak main Valorant nih, kalau live pasti yang nonton sepi jir. Ngerti gak sih? Itu loh jadi kayak semangat gitu, kurang semangat jir. Gue live. Gue kira tuh orang nonton gue karena gue gitu. Ternyata karena game. Gue merasa sedih tuh nggak? Motivasi gue tuh berkurang jir. Gue suruh keluarga dua. Jangan Mamba, kalau lu suruh keluarga lu nonton ntar gue dicap jelek. Karena gue kalau ceplos nanti kok konsisten aman. Karena mindset orang-orang lu pro Valo kocak. Iya tahu, nggak maksud gua. Iya sih, karena orang taunya gua pro Valorant dulu, bukan as a streamer atau content creator. Aldi sepi tetap. Kalau Aldi karena emang Subatan, gua kalau Subatan pasti live. Gak mungkin nggak. Lu pernah coba lihat dah Subaton gua pertama dan kedua. Apapun game buat seru-seruan gue mainin. Kalau itu udah tanggung jawab, kalau Subaton itu udah tanggung jawab. Makanya live terus bang, biar jadi content creator. Jadi gua bertekad untuk live terus sebisa gua setiap hari kalau bisa, oke? Jadi kalian dukung lah, tidaknya like lah. Atau enggak kalau misalnya kalian berkecukupan donate lah, atau enggak join membership lah setidaknya. Lu malah live sebulan 1 kali doang, gue bikin seminggu 5 kali, gimana? Deal nggak? Apa seminggu sekali? Dukunglah lu streamer game presisi pertama. Kelas lu obeng anjir, lu obeng GG ya. Sekali live RP boleh, tapi nggak pakai muka ya, kayak gua geli gitu loh kalau gua ngomong ada muka gua tuh. Apa main Valo sama Rusman sama YD juga. Rusman tuh dari kemarin tuh ngajakin gua tuh main CS. Udah like, makasih Bang Arif ya. Gak ada barang Wilson Bang Gaco. Biasanya tuh kalau Watchparty sendiri cuy. Gua tak Allahu Akbar, udah buffering aja nih anjing. Internet gue ya. Agak lain nih. Aman gak cuy streamnya cuy? Aman. Oh fuck man. Wah rungkat cuy. Desalasianya. Kau nonton di mana ya? Tadi apa nama channel cuy? Oh ini desalasi.
Who I think was so pivotal when they were playing on Bind against Dominatus inside.
Wah emang streamnya rungkat jing. Woi, mana ini streamnya? Wah, kabur nih coy, kabur, lihat tuh. Gue udah pengen, wah, bang coy 50 Mbps 250k murah lah. CS malah bebas, masih watchable. Oke. Jadi gini deh, gue tuh karena gini, Valo itu kalau lu sekarang nih ya, kalau misalnya lu tipe grinding tuh pasti nyaman main Valo walaupun berdua, kayak Kevin tuh, karena dia udah go pro gitu, udah di tim franchise lagi tier 1. Nah kalau gua tuh mencari game yang bisa main berlima karena ada temen. Kalau ini kalau main berlima tuh mesti smurf, kalau smurf lawannya kayak kurang gitu. Nah maka cari yang bisa berlima gitu, ngelawak kayak gitu loh. Makanya gue main RP tuh diajakin karena itu seru, karena kelakuan Dolce tolol itu coy. Delby ke tim Cina berarti tanda sin Valo Indo akan mati. Hah? Enggak lah, kalau itu lebih ke bagus untuk player Indo lah, opportunity. Jadi maksudnya nih, salah satu player Indo ditarik ke Cina, ya kan? Mau otomatis kalau Delby perform di region China itu, otomatis China bakal ngelirik player Indo lah yang lainnya. Ngerti gak sih? Oh berarti Indo banyak player yang harus minimal satu kita tarik ke tim gitu, ke organisasi China. Justru bagus itu peluang untuk player Indo juga. Bukan scene-nya Indo yang mati ya menurut gue ya. Karena selain nih, menurut gue tuh selain kalian sebagai pro player harus ke apa namanya, harus ke franchise, itu tujuan yang harus dicapai lah franchise. Tapi di bawah franchise tuh ke region China, karena dari segi aim paling susah komunikasi doang sih. Itu lag live ini dari sininya setan tuh. WTF lag. Woi, what happened man? Why? What happened? Kalau Delby-nya busuk, nah itu tantangannya. Karena dia ditarik dan organisasi luar apa tim internasional itu tertarik sama dia harus konsisten, harus. Apalagi China itu kita tahu orangnya tuh aimnya jago-jago coy. Pemain mudanya talented semua. Delby harus konsisten kalau dia emang mau stay di situ. Tapi gue percaya Delby karena gue pernah setim sama dia. Delby tuh jago, orangnya juga niat, terus orangnya juga bawel. Dengan posisi dia umur berapa ya sekarang ya, 18 19 gue nggak tahu deh. Di usia dia yang muda itu kayak dia udah tahu apa yang harus dilakuin untuk timnya menang gitu, dan sering kasih saran juga sebagai duelis ya. Tapi gue nggak tahu dia nanti dia role-nya apa ya, kayaknya role-nya anak gawang mungkin ya. Coy ini mana live ya, terus kita nggak nonton nih coy, kita ngobrol doang ini kan. Ini enggak sih, lihat dari ini nggak sih? Belum cok, belum sih. Mana ya mereka ya? Aduh, version miss beda klien cok ternyata. Tadi udah nyala jing. Ayolah.
Who I think was so pivotal when they were playing on Bind against Dominatus inside.
Kalau Delby bersinar, BG Kaca sebagai pendidiknya naik namanya gitu ya cok. Itu mah balik lagi ke Delby atau pandangan orang lah. Cok menurut kalian ESL ini kayak gimana coy? Gue agak bingung nih. Kita harus apa cok? Kita mandi nanti aja ya. Mau mandi mau enggak? Gue udah mandi tadi pagi. Mau mandi mau enggak? Muka tuh nggak berubah, Cok. Cok, ini gimana, Jeng? Kita spam, Jeng, buffer. Tadi gue udah mandi pagi, terus gue tidur. Makanya kayak gini. Mager kan? Ada kus, Cok, di stream BK. Kenapa? Nggak mandi beberapa jam nggak mungkin bau lah. Rinci. Agak lain lo ya. Mau mandi mau enggak busuk ya gong. Muke lu tuh ya, Ces ya. Tai lu tuh ya. Minimal gosok gigi. Gua bangun pasti gosok gigi dan cuci muka. Emang rambut gua aja ini yang ngembang. Gua harus potong rambut dulu, Cok. Gua udah mulai gerah, Cok. Apa gua gondrong aja? Menurut kalian gua gondrong cocok gak? Apa botak kayak kus? Menurut kalian botak gigi gak, cuy? Muka lu kurang basah. Ngapain muka dibasahin, setan? Terus waktu justru gue mandi terus, Jir. Botak bagus, Cok. Nggak mah. Mending kumis bangkat. Aduh. Nggak, ini niat gak sih dia ngadain turnamen dan streamingan ini, productionnya ini, cuy? Ayolah. Kalian mau gua menjadi gua yang dulu, cuy? Nanda Rizana Ridik. Aduh, nggak ada lagi. Ada, cuy. Mana muka gue ya? Aduh, layar gue mati lagi. Untuk naga. Mana, Cok? Nggak ada, Jing. Tuh, ada, udah nggak ada lagi, cuy. Ridik CS. Ini, cuy. Lu mau gue balik ke masa ini lagi? Ini gue kurus banget, Jing. Sumpah berat gue ini cuma 46, Cok. Ini. Sekarang kali 2. What the fuck, tiba-tiba udah mulai, udah 21. Wah, gak niatnya, Jeng. Udah mulai. Kita lupakan yang tadi ya, cuy. Itu hanya nostalgia manja ya. Kita tontonin dulu.
Yeah, Berserk's marking the site especially.
Weh, nggak ada yang mau bet manja nih. Watchparty Boom Esl. Diam, kaleng. Gua udah kecewa sama lu, Leng. Lu ghosting gua terus, Jing.
Suka here checking things out as much as possible. NC Slasher though prepare for the push from the waterfall area, and Boom Esports now.
Gua ditinggal, Cok. Gua kecewa sih jujur sama lu, Leng.
Berserk's NC Slasher very confident they can make a play from this angle. Famous dude.
Katanya lu sehidup semati sama gua, Leng.
Trading it
Apa lu
back.
tinggal gua, Jing?
Boom. 2v1 now, having to hold it angles. Keep an eye out. Yes, I can. Moving in yet again. Able to get the barrel of NC Slasher.
Kok nggak care dengan itu ya? Oh, karena orang A ya? Lu menghilang, gua nggak menghilang, Cok. Lu ada WA gua, itu bukan jadi alasan. Berserk, kenapa kamu ngopi? Kenapa? Aduh, ayolah. Kenapa bisa kena tlut sih sama Yes Ichan?
Again, just able to
pasifnya kah? Pasifnya udah nyala gak, cuy? Ya, gua kasih waktu 1 round nih buat bet. Buru buat bet 1 round. Leng, kenapa lu tinggalin gua, Leng? Lu melupakan gua, Leng. Bukan gue kocak yang menentukan. Tapi kan lu bisa. Wah, kecewa, Leng, sama gua sama lu kan. Padahal gua menemukan gua menemukan opportunity yang baru, Cok. Terus dia nanya, lu ada rekomendasi? Gua bilang gua sendiri doang, karena temen gua udah ninja gua namanya Sayu, gua bilang gitu. Gue tahu muka lu katanya. Rubah abu itu apa ya? Nah, itu dia loh. Kok Chris ini selalu all in, Jir? GG.
Absolutely. And again,
Sabar full screen sabar.
Especially with
Masih
how
pause manja.
pressure the other players from Boom was just playing. They were so close to each other that an immediate
Emang lu ada poin, Leng? Tai lu ya, Leng ya. Leng, minimal buat memaafkan lu minimal inilah buat makan lah, Leng. Gocap atau cepet lah, Leng. Biar cepet kaya, mantap. Kok Chris, gua setuju dengan itu. Hidup tuh kadang harus gamble ya. Ayo lah, Leng. Buat makan doang, Leng. Gua ikhlas dah memaafkan lu. Akan gua doakan lu. Kamu telat Hudan, denda 20.000 ya. Hudan Radifan.
That I think Fancy United really has to just watch out for here. There is that little bit of, I think, this extra step that Boom can take that can catch them off guard if they're not prepared for it.
And the biggest strength
Cepet lah, Leng, cepet.
has right
Wah, ini kenapa ngobrol terus, Jing?
don't fully commit on these sites.
Agak lain nih emang. Kita balik lagi aja ya. Kalian harus melihat gua zaman dulu, coy.
Usually the retakes.
Tiba-tiba udah mulai, kan? Wah, nggak jelas, Jing. Ini maksudnya apa sih?
When you're facing off
Gak ada
against
aba-aba,
Boom,
tiba-tiba
both
udah
the numbers,
udah
because you
seeker
can
out.
play later on into the round anyway once Boom burned their utility.
Oh,
Hero
fuck, kenapa?
advancing
Boleh.
into the high ground too. The plant goes down. And
Gak ada
Fancy
gong, gue
United
di
scrambled
ghosting.
out to try and play
Apalagi,
the
Leng. Buat makan lah minimal, Leng. Wingstop.
Try to be a little bit more proactive to try to get a catch off. That's not going to work as there's too many players of Fancy here on Heaven. Jin,
Aduh.
Showstopper, finds Berserks.
Waduh.
And it's all just a game.
Kenapa
of hide
posisinya
and
tuh
seek.
kayak
Shero's in a position where
sepret
maybe
gitu, cuy.
he can find himself cheeky angles.
Satu di
No,
situ,
that's
satu
going
di
to be a
situ,
fall this
satu mau
round.
nge-push,
An easy
satu
retake for
ngumpet,
Fancy,
satu
and a huge upset against Boom.
sepretnya sepret.
This is another example of how Fancy is playing this well. They're waiting for Boom to be the
Leng,
ones to
Leng, gue
advance
tinju
into
lu
them.
lah.
And yet again, sure,
Oh.
it's eco round.
Lu
but
mau
it's just
gue
a
tinju
byproduct
pakai
of how Boom
Aldosnya
plays
Budi?
this map.
Hah?
They love getting as much space
Wah,
as
Fikri
possible
kenapa nih?
and catching Fancy.
Gue
United,
mencium-cium
or rather
bau-bau
their
busuk
opponents
gini,
off
coy.
guard
Fikri
with
05, coy.
angles taken by their players.
Itu
But if Fancy
teman-teman
United
DW
doesn't
dapat
fall
gong,
for it,
gue di
it
ghosting.
becomes Fancy with
Oh
the
fuck,
advantage.
Leng.
It's a
Ayolah,
3-1
gue juga,
outcome
Leng.
converted into a
Waktunya kita
waterfall of a
mendaftarkan
retake.
KTP
Such an edge right now,
DKI
Fancy
manja
United
nggak sih,
is
Leng?
with, and given that they have that breach with the
Gue
Rolling
tidak
Thunder,
merasa
it will be
diapresiasi,
even easier
ya.
now.
Leng.
Yes, Ken is reading this hard.
Wah,
already.
busuk ini, cuy.
Pushing against Boom.
Oh,
Boom.
nice.
Okay, they receive Jin. Hold on, let's see
Wah,
how this
gila,
goes.
itu
The
bagus banget
Flash
sih
stops
si
Cruz from
Fancy-nya.
pushing in, but
Untung
the
ada yang
pace is
anti-flash.
still moving for Fancy
Wah,
United.
di-
Boom's gotta be prepared. They're forcing them back bit by bit, but they're taking damage.
Mati.
Here comes
Wah,
Famous.
untung lihat.
Gets it with a showstopper, opens
Wah,
up
nice
C.
banget.
And now,
Itu
what
loh.
are we doing?
Membacanya
One
itu
more
sangat.
remain. It's going to be Shiro. One
Ayolah.
more C, and he clears it up 2 versus 1. But now he's not going to
udah kalah ya,
hear
2 biji ya.
that spike. So he's gonna have to go all the way around.
Lihat,
that
emang
ace
Budi
long
kayak gitu
rotation
main ya.
Just to try to go for that A side.
Yeah, it's a far
Jadi
road
kata
here
Budi,
for Fifth Show, and you can
gua
see
kabur ya.
Fancy United, they tried to play proactive. Boom's
Gue cari
prepared for
scrim
that
jam 8
in
gong
response.
kentot
A little too
scrim.
aggressive,
Di mana
especially
cari
when
scrim,
the
Jing?
Rolling Thunder, the Paranoia,
Gua nggak
more
ada
so kept them at bay
Discordnya,
rather than
kentut
tying
naga.
alongside Jin's peak itself. And Fancy United, they're the ones who are wondering now what
Agak lain
they
lu
can do
ya.
for the round. Fifth Show at
Lawan
least
Dominatus.
trying to find anyone coming his way. Seems
Gua nggak
like it's
lawan
not the case.
Dominatus.
Boom Esports will get a second round here.
Oh, udah 4-1, gua nggak ngerti sama stream ini, coy.
Close.
Bi emang
I
ya.
honestly thought it was going to be Fancy to just clear up that one because they had everything set up. Yes,
4-2, 4-2.
as you mentioned, immediately uses the Rolling Thunder to punish there, but it may just be that
Cruz ini
little bit
jago
of
ya,
lag
cuy.
in
Cruz.
between
Siapa
somebody
sih
following
Cruz?
up on Jin since he was just a little bit too far
Adeknya
forward with
CRWS ya?
that double satchel of him and him not getting any picks probably just made it a tad more difficult for Fancy United to follow up on any eliminations. And as soon as we saw that in just a
Tahu
but
Val,
it was
mendingan
just
lu
Shiro
ganti
up
foto
against,
Val nih.
I'm not sure it was
Arjin,
Fisho,
Valorant.
up against 4 players of Boom.
Yeah, well,
Nah,
Boom.
ini aja
they're
Val
advancing
tuh. Ini
towards
aja.
A yet again.
Jangan cuy.
Fancy
Ini
United.
aja Val.
They're gonna rely
Sama
on
juga.
Suka's setup actually to try and get the catch if ever.
Gua salah, Gong,
So,
salah.
for the cross
Salah, Gong.
rotation,
Gak lihat, Gong.
rather than
Gua
the
keliat
side,
cuma fokus
perhaps
di
for
foto
Fancy
lu
United
dong, Gong.
expecting
Gak ada
either
maksud,
the
Gong.
Viper split or the
Ketot naga
lockdown
lu,
to come
Gong, ya.
online, and that's exactly what happens. NC Slash now
Salah.
putting that spike down.
Kita fokus ke game ya. Ini Bom sudah memasuki side A, ada plan, ada Viper Speed. Take melakukan heal kepada Stiro.
Esports instead. Trying to play the off angle if ever from the doorway. Cruz now with
Bang,
paranoia,
kentat lo
instant
ya.
teleport, and see Slash
Cruz dengan
still
TP yang
able to
sangat
find him,
tolol.
and it's
Gerakannya
Boom
itu,
defending
ini
Jin
dia
on side,
Famozin.
can't handle
Vamos!
more than one. The SI can,
Wah, udah
only
di buff
one
belum ya?
player
Wah,
left.
kurang.
Lockdown, the countdown's
Buffnya
there,
Dina
and
kurang.
there's just no way to fight. This has to be
Buffnya
a nice
Dina
thing. No
kurang
NC
cuy.
Slasher
Tembakan Famos
gives him
kayak kurang
respect
tajam gitu
instead.
menurut kalian kan?
It will be a third round here for Boom.
At some point, I thought they were just playing with their food there. Just try to bait to maximize the lockdown to get him detained and
Close,
as you
close.
mentioned, try to go for that stab.
Gak baik
Other
cuy.
than that,
Itu masa
just,
lalu
again,
cuy.
Very aggressive posture onto that A side. I think at some point they really couldn't do anything through that Viper's pit.
Eh
And
iya
this
bednya
is a
masih
testament
aktif.
to how
Wah,
strong
kenakan
both
dong
the
lu
Viper
pada.
players are. Fisho as well as Shiro, once they have that ultimate locked and loaded, it just feels like there's nothing that the opponent team can do because
Ayo,
even
membership
though,
atau
you know,
subscribe atau
a
apa
lot of
cuy?
teams are,
Atau enggak
more
kalian akan
versed with the
menonton
smoke plays.
iklan lewat dulu
These
ya?
guys just make it so difficult with how cheeky they play inside it.
Seekers though gonna be out. Boom Esports.
Bentar ya, klarifikasi di Turki yang megangin kamera
As
dulu.
soon as they realize
Lu lihat dulu gong lu.
have just going for that
Itu
inside
dia
to
bro.
towards B. And
Nah
it
ini
leads now
baru
to the
boom
likes of
Jer,
Boom
ini baru
takes
buff
an
Dina
advantage.
Israel ya.
Going
Untuk
on down.
God
Here from the
God
side,
Famos.
Fancy not really banding out
Lu
the
lihat
way
nih
they
ya.
want. And it's Boom Esports clearing out names. Yes, I can though. Still striking back at the least. Fancy United, they want to be heard in the round. The flash though gets
Dua lawan
confirmation.
empat.
Yes, I can here by upper.
Dua lawan
The
empat
flag
ya.
coming on in from Boom again. And
Dua
it's
lawan
Shiro
empat.
the one watching
Aduh,
out on
jadi
site.
dua lawan
Spot still
tiga.
by Yes, I can. Neurotheft gonna be also into
Budi
play.
ketahuan.
Another flash
Lah,
though to confirm
nggak ada yang ngeh
from
nih.
Intel, but
Satu
now
lagi
they
nggak ada yang
know
ngeh.
that Moria's coming
Ini
from
dia loh
behind
permainan
them.
Budi yang sangat
And scans
dua
in.
lawan dua.
Yes, I can with a third.
Dipis.
Buying time as much as they can. Suka now on defuse duty. Fancy United work hard to make their way towards the side. Swing comes from
Okay,
Moria.
nice,
Fancy
Bud.
Slasher though, the swing at the end is crucial.
dia loh,
Boom
Budi.
tie it up.
New player, new member of Boom.
So well coordinated.
Morea dan
Moria hitting,
Salser.
getting the very important elimination on Suka there allowed NC Slasher to just catch. Yes, I can.
Gue denger-denger
Just a
lu jadi
fraction
coach
of a
di
second.
tim
Yes, I
Valding
Can was
kapan
just
play ke
about to
Turki.
win,
Mukah lu
against,
onyol ya.
Against NC Slasher there. And then
Kapan ya?
again, Moria
Kapan
comes in with
kita
a
berangkat,
big,
Val?
big
Gua jadi
plays. They already know
gantiin
he's there because of
Valdi,
the
coy.
road, but it didn't matter. And what was also
Tapi karena dia ketinggian dia nggak bisa
key here
berangkat.
for Fancy is the two nanoswarms. They had to deal in the post.
Here comes Pain though, courtesy of Jin. NC Slasher
Ini maksudnya apa, cuy?
responds in kind.
Bud!
Paranoia is there.
Yang benar aja
Crucial
flash lu,
gets
Bud.
one before
Yang
he
benar
falls
aja nih
victim
di Vince.
for the pressure. And
Wah.
Fancy United this time around making their aggression
Fikri.
work. But Famous, he has other
Ini
plans. Here we
dia
go.
loh.
And you put that on the wall and posterize
Suaranya
Suka.
kayak gua gedek
Boom
gitu,
Esports take the lead from that.
Ooh, I like that term.
Teriak-teriak, Jin.
Posterized. Really just, again, showing force, the dominance here of Famous in those type of situations. And I do like the aggression that we're seeing here for Fancy United. But Boom Esports, they're very much akin to such aggression. They're a team that loves to do the same type of aggressive posture, aggressive plays. And you could really see that both teams are just trying to
Fancy
one-up
dari
each other,
Vietnam.
but at least for now, Fancy's tried it twice, and it hasn't panned out.
Ini
the
loh,
way that they
Boom
wanted.
cumbak.
Boom. They
Tapi
find a
agak-agak
way
ngeri
to
gitu,
just out clutch the aggression. And now this will temper the tempo of Fancy United. Yes,
Wah
I
di
can.
ulti. Wah kena 5 cok. Wah nggak bener. Gila bagus banget sih counternya. Fancy ini dari dulu dia punya taktik bagus-bagus Jing. Serius.
Fighting back to catch out. Yes, I can.
Mereka ngebacanya bagus. Wah, ini Flash Budi lebih bagus. 3 lawan 3. Set A-nya sudah clear. Tinggal plan kebuka.
Just to make it 3v3.
Do they know that nobody's on the
Gelbung,
side right now? Jin immediately
Shiro.
doubles Atros, almost catches Moria.
Udah ketahuan ya main.
Sneaking through. No big ultimates
Famos
here,
main
but
bebas, oke mantap. Dicek. Ayo dong.
not even gonna know about this. And Jin.
Wah
hits
Budi ada
one
main,
here.
Budi ada
Afar.
main.
Wherever you are, Jin will be able to take you down.
Berserk's the only one still standing, stuck here by tree, using utility, try and buy time.
Wah ini Rizky akan menang kalau ini blunder cuy.
Cybercage gives him the element of surprise, and
Oh,
here
dia
they
dia
come.
loncat.
Clever boys
Apa
from
tadi lo
Fancy
bilang, Chat?
United. They're
Tembakan
gonna
Dina.
tie up the scoreline here.
Man, that was
the
absolutely
fuck, Sus, man?
phenomenal. Jin's timing and
Kenapa lu bilang
just
tembakan
sheer
Jin,
confidence,
anjing?
allowing him to catch the rotation here of Boom, who was trying to play a little bit more crossfire heavy on that post plan. They wanted to see to show that maybe they were all playing on tree and then have
Fancy
Famous
bagus
play on
kok.
drop right
Dia
there. But
punya
again, Jin's
strat sama
timing
counter
and,
stratnya bagus dia.
eagerness
Dari
to be
dulu.
able to get there as soon as he can is
Makanya dia
allowing
punya
Fancy to
alasan
get
kenapa
these
dia
post
main
plans
kayak
back
double
into their favor.
controller, kayak agent-agent aneh.
Fancy United,
Taktiknya
Boom
bagus, cuma
Esports. This is such an even
eksekusinya
matchup
itu
right
loh.
now, right? And it just proves two things. Boom, they're here to play with the best. Fancy United looking to just recover from some local woes, and they're doing it right now. Of course, versus a team that has beaten them before on the international stage. It's exciting to see this game yet again, the series yet again. And Boom, though, not the best buy right now. Holding on to Sheriff for one, few pistols on the others. It's a Nico for them as Fancy United do play more of a default hold. Suka loses the camera, expecting contact to come his way.
No double satchels here for Famous, excuse me. So he's gonna have to slowly come into the side with the rest of his team. Fancy United rotating two of their players in. They're putting through the smoke. There's going to be a flash on Fischio here. There's the charge right in, and it doesn't catch them.
Whoa!
Moria just
Moria!
swinging, not even missing, hits the shot, equalizes the numbers, and they can actually try to go
Predict
pick up
secure
these
top
weapons.
3.
That spike.
Apa
Huge
yang
stuff
ini
coming
turnamen
in
ini?
from the new controller
Boom udah pasti
of
juara
Boom.
1
I
cuy.
told you could do it like round 1. Finally makes it happen round 11. But anyway, it's an opening now made here towards the seaside. You also get the lockdown into play. Jin trying to make his own play with the showstopper. Shiro is a victim. Another one will be Moria. Lockdown's also broken along the way.
fuck
And
retake tuh?
welcome to Jin Sanity.
Kalau
because
kata
that was
caster,
just such a
Jin
flow of
single-handedly
motions.
ya.
Fancy United, they
Granat,
played so well.
ulti, lockdown hancur dapat
Man.
1, Vandal.
Jin is just putting everything, the whole fancy team on his shoulders when they need him to step up. He does not. This
Kayak gua res ya.
He just
Beti-beti
what was
lah.
that? Nade to get one, showstopper to break the lockdown plus get the kill, and then just holding the last person on mount and still winning that duel, even though he was just basically looking everywhere. Absolutely.
Udah main A lagi
insane
aja,
here
main A
from
lagi.
Jin. And
Main
now
A lagi tuh udah
it's
paling
ready
benar
for
kontrol
esports.
A,
Last
atau
round
enggak
for them to try to equalize things
ganggu
6-6
C,
if
satu
they
orang
can.
nyelip,
Fancy United,
cari tahu
they got
diapain
themselves
A-nya.
a
Udah,
whole lot of firepower and a
main
whole
game
lot of
Map
confidence to
Lotus
back it
tuh
up.
simple aja.
Fancy United now feel
Ah.
a bit of that momentum swinging in their favor.
Oke, Shiro main sendiri.
Esports.
Kayaknya nggak diapa-apain. Ambil orb. HUD-nya ini loh, gue pengen lihat coy, orbnya sih seberapa.
Leaving Shiro to go for the lurk using his toxic strain.
Gimana
as that
menurut Agent
advantage.
ISO, worth it nggak? Gue
The
juga
mystery for
nggak
Fancy
tahu tuh.
United, but they already understand what the setup is. Suka backs away, doesn't want to contest this. Moria also peeks into the bend, and Boom's assessing if they can actually make the hit.
Emang
here
ya?
happen.
Ya dong.
Try to do so. They got the utility right now compared to before, and you know how they were able to do that with just Moria rushing right in the back of the
Oke,
site.
C-nya di retake.
Oh, there's a
Enak nih, enak nih.
tripwire for default plant. Is there gonna be a wallbang to punish Moria? No.
Ada
not gonna
util
happen
apa-apa
just
ya?
yet. There's just too far away from the defenders, and this is going to be a pure retake scenario. Famous trying to get closer.
ulti lagi
look
Fischio
here,
ini.
top C, but there's about 3 people that he's about
Aduh,
to swing
kenapa
into.
sendiri?
Gotta be
Fikri.
careful.
He got out though.
Wah,
Here's
mati
the
dong
power,
Fikri.
response now, no escape. Famous is caught in those camps.
Ada moli-moli gitu ya?
United push in.
Waktunya, Bud.
And then Eurotap also into play.
Waktunya,
Moria,
Bud.
though, deciding to take down one with him. It will be 3v3 for the time being. Boom still playing off to the outside.
Oh,
Using
nice molly, nice molly.
utility, Tries to talk for time. The tap though
Nice.
coming into play. Shiro with lineup. With the kill, with
Nice.
another one. And looks to be the Shiro show here.
Nggak mungkin
unless
kan kalah
Cruz
3 lawan
can
1.
change that channel. But time is ticking. And Fancy United
Kalau
has run
kalah
out of
3 lawan
members
1
to play
turun
with.
gaji Jin.
Shiro now confirms the
Gaji
credits.
diturunin.
We are tied up at the half.
Ooh, that's what happens when you
Switching
have
sides.
molly abilities on the post, not just spamming through the smoke with
6-6
weaponry.
ya, not bad lah
Very
untuk
difficult
attack.
for
Waktunya, cuy.
for Fancy to just retake that situation. They dealt with Famous pretty quickly. He wasn't able to get any picks whatsoever, but there was also positioning there that we saw from Moria where no one was looking for him from Fancy. I think everybody from Fancy just guessed that their opponents would be at C long before the neural theft tag actually came through. So
Iya, like dulu lah,
huge
ayolah.
stuff here for
Bantulah,
Boom. And
bantulah.
again, the battle continues. It's been neck and neck here, Dax, as we can see on that scoreboard 6-6.
Yeah, it's been absolutely
Oke lah,
even
attack
here in
itu
terms of
dapat 6,
scoreline, but
harusnya
for
bisa
me, I
lebih.
feel like Fancy United
Minimal
had
7
a
lah.
good half
Tapi 6
there.
sama
The
masih
way that
oke.
they're able to shut down
Asalkan
Boom
nggak
just
ada
like
kena
that
thrifty
on the
manja.
preferred side.
Nice, main cari
Understand those
info,
kind of set plays.
kedengeran,
Now then,
rotate,
them
A-nya udah
moving
dapat
up the
Budi.
attacking side, the mantle of responsibility
Dapatin C sama B.
is on the shoulders of Jin to see what space he can
221, oke mantap. Budi harus
Trying
ini
to
nih,
just move
harus
fluidly
tahan
here.
badan dia.
everywhere.
Ah,
Securing, I think there's the ult charges. Just because, you know, it's the free world, why not?
It's for your real estate. You,
Yeah,
you
true.
get one condo here. You have an apartment here. There's one. You got this beachside property. There you go. And then you build a hotel and say Monopoly.
I actually
Do not
don't
know how
the
to play.
rules.
How to
Yeah,
play
Monopoly. Yeah.
So again, you just need to buy everything of the same color before you can become basically a real
harusnya
estate
udah ketahuan
mogul.
sih kemana ini.
Alright,
Anyway,
hang on.
at least
Yeah.
you know this game, Valorant.
Tencent nggak sih?
I do. A whole lot more than I do Monopoly. This goes to show what kind of person I am. Anyways, it's
Wah,
going to be some
kesehatan nih, pasti nih.
slow, aggressive hold.
Retake kah?
And now they just burst into the site, you know, clearing as many corners as they can. Moria's been spotted already. Jin could actually have a good time here against Shiro. He's about
Ayo,
to
5
swing
lawan
just a
5
couple of
retake.
seconds or
Yuk, bisa
just
yuk.
wait for Shiro to drop
Do,
down.
loncat do,
There
loncat
it
do.
is.
Right click do.
Side by
Ini
side.
waktunya do.
He doesn't
Ah,
hear that.
itu loh.
Jin distracted and instantly Sasher
Dapat info di
able to get the kill to
3-1.
start things off on the
Akel
bridge.
maju.
Smokes are
Waduh,
coming
plannya
on
kebuka,
out.
no
Boom
smoke.
Esports now looking for
Oke.
clear Fame
3
is on
lawan
the
4.
board, and it will be
Wah,
Shiro and
mantap.
Sasher making sure Tree
Mantap. Right click.
the
Ah,
bodies
itu
of
dia loh,
Fantasy
bro.
United being their fertilizer. Boom Esports, they'll take this pistol and get
Yang penting
a
jangan
lead
kena
moving
force
into
buy
the
aja
second
nih,
half.
karena
That was a smooth transition.
attack-nya
there
buy,
from Boom here.
force buy mungkin.
There was a position where you saw from Fancy they had some post plants, but once the strain on the Tree players was a little bit too imminent, you can see already Fancy changing their minds rather than holding that post plant. They don't really have as strong molly abilities as a Nanoswarm. They only had the I believe the Snake Bite, not really the best for early post plant situations like that. In any case, since Boom just started to press up a whole lot faster, Fancy got caught in terms of the timing, and you could really see that with how they tried to just encapsulate once again the situation, which they were not able to do so.
No Fancy, they have the Sheriffs now in Boom Esports. On the anti-eco, Berserks is the one who spots out that potential contact. But you notice it again here, Asrai. Fancy sending everyone to first secure the orb, second perhaps leave someone on the lurk, and Jin is just being fed these ultimate orbs as much as possible to build the showstopper if ever. Oh, counterplay though. This time, Boom
Okay.
has had enough hearing that orb being taken, and Jin, he's gonna go to the bench for the round.
Yeah, might as well just get the punish, right? It's not free real estate anymore. It is what you call the opponent tax. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, they had to fight for it, and they couldn't.
So if you don't buy a property you land on,
Enggak. Ini
goes
ada
to
urusan
option.
penting tadi. Sorry.
you know how that
Sorry.
works, right? That's
Kita
the-
fokus
yeah.
lagi ya. Jadi
There you
sekarang
go,
udah
they just
kecolong
got
itu.
hit.
Resnya udah
Boom Esports
kecolong
with that
sama
Yeah,
harusnya
sorry about
Fikri ya,
this.
karena
And
dia
Shiro instead
Fikri kena hit manja cuy.
here, not in jail, just visiting.
30 seconds.
Namanya juga cari duit cuy. Buset dah.
No.
Anyway,
Kalau-
Boom's
Woi,
here.
itu
One,
gimana
yes,
tuh
I
tembakan
can.
itu?
That is a
Shiro.
statement pick.
Nice, itu dia Shiro.
Side.
Waduh.
Is Boom another one? Yes, I can.
3 lawan
Yes, he
2.
will with the two,
Harusnya
sure.
masih menang sih.
Will
Menang
it be
orang
enough?
loh.
Even
Retake
secure
granat
the
manja.
pick up an
Oh,
Arsenal
udah
all
nggak
the
ada.
way, low HP already here from
Ayolah,
Fantasy
Ayolah,
United,
kalau
especially yes,
pengen
I
gua
can.
full fokus
And as NC
untuk
Sasher now
Watchparty,
looks to
ayolah.
play at the halls,
Minimal
it's an
donate lah.
isolated duel
Cuy,
versus
bantu lah
Cruise if
tipis-tipis.
ever. Fantasy United, they do have the bando still under the control. Fame is now moving forward. Boom has good chance now to go for the clears if they win these duels. And case in point, Famous already confirms it. Crusto survives the firefight away from the
Nice.
site in the 2v1.
Nah, ini udah pasti menang, Boom.
Prime, but he
Plannya
realizes there might be
safety
some time.
soalnya.
Needs to
Can
run
be fun.
through the smoke, looks for the pot
Waduh.
shot. Cruz wins.
Bud,
but Famous
lu ada main
is
sih,
even
Bud.
better at the end.
Lu yang bener aja,
Boom
Bud.
now with a
Kopi
2-round
kentut.
gap, but that was a great eco from Fancy.
Boleh sih Bang si
Yes,
Put.
I can.
Kopi
Hitting some
kentot naga
crucial
itu.
shots
Udah lama
right
nggak
there.
merasakan.
Even though they were pushing through the
Kentot
smoke
naga
of the
kopi.
Viper, it still didn't matter somehow, and they were still able to convert a little bit more.
Kalau gua bantu doa
from
doang
that,
itu
even
sangat
though they
momen.
didn't
Sangat.
finish the round.
Doa
So,
itu
huge stuff here
semua
for
orang harus berdoa,
Fantasy
cuy.
United. they will have a full
Mungkin
set
salah
of
satu yang
utility
ngebantu
and
ya.
weaponry coming into what is the bonus round for Boom, because Boom wasn't really able to save any of the weapons, just shy of that Bulldog. So this is going to be huge right now for Fancy if they try to
Weh,
create
kamera yang
something,
bener lah,
try to push
anjing.
it through the one
Wah,
way,
nggak bener
knowing
nih.
that it is
Kameranya
just
apaan?
a
Coba di
false pretense
belakang-belakang
of
pantat Viper gitu,
aggression
cuy.
here from Boom.
Yeah, the gun advantage is so
Kalian
clear
itu
for Fancy United.
wajar gak?
And they do feel
Menurut
confident
kalian wajar gak kayak gitu?
moving into rubble and clearing
Sus
out
gitu,
the
cuy.
usual areas Boom does come from.
Nah ini dia, ini dia, ini dia. 86.
86
Do sembunyi, mantap, dapat info. Budi dapat info juga di C, aman.
They don't actually commit into this one. They still try to give that false intel. The
Okay.
Trailblazer though trying to scout out what's happening towards mid. This might
Banyak
actually be Boom
sampah,
Esports
Jing,
getting a good read so far. They do
Andre
pivot towards
Onana
A.
yang kebobolan
Fancy
3 gol
instead
baru
is
saja
even
mengirimkan
better.
dukungan 10.000.
Hustling easy. They
Selo
don't expect this
puh di
actually.
donat
The
nih,
smoke comes
biar
on out.
semangat.
They still think
Si Andre Onana.
it's Moria.
Makasih
He's
ya.
now in a bad spot.
Donetnya.
Paranoia. The smoke's there
Mudah-mudahan
too.
rezekinya lancar terus ya, dikali 2. Kalau bisa donate lagi kali 5.
Yeah,
Buset,
there's
Budi
Jin
jauh banget tuh nariknya,
getting
bagus
that
bagus bagus.
ROI on
Karena dia
his
tahu ada
showstopper,
resulti.
able to clear it and
Jangan ada
get
yang di
that
CT ya.
side.
Oke, mantap.
That's going to be also Fish Show.
Fokus ya.
Late lurk, able to find NC Slasher all the way
Bagi
through
le-
mid. It's going to be Shiro
Oke,
right
oke,
now.
Onyol.
Fish Show,
Emang lu
if
tuh
Shiro
kayak
can
gitu,
time it
Nyol.
perfectly, but unfortunately, not gonna happen.
Waduh,
Can't
ada
pick up the
trap.
Sheriff. It's just going to be the big pinch here from the
Ini
remaining
bonus
members
kan
of
mereka?
Boom. They still have a bit of utility here, so maybe they can use that. They can isolate a bit of these fights. But Jin,
Cover,
pulling
cover,
that cross,
cover.
clears it up
Aduh,
perfectly.
kena
Oh,
stun,
this
coy.
is gonna be clean up for
Wah,
Fancy.
di pick dong.
Crossfire so strong there from Fancy to greet anyone coming in from halls. Another one bites the dust. Yes, I can.
Nice, bikin miskin, bikin miskin. Nice. Bikin miskin aja.
At least some good exits for him. That's value moving forward. Poison Cloud gonna be there too. Shiro thinking about
Ada Vandal
can he
sih.
pick up a gun in
Bisa nggak tuh?
time or die to the spike instead.
Ya, picknya boom.
TP out
Wah,
to
mati, gak
Cruz,
apa-apa.
Shiro
Gak apa-apa
falls
cuy,
to
udah membunuh
the
2
destination
itu udah
zone.
oke untuk
Fancy United
bonus
gets on
round.
the board here for the second half.
Wah,
That,
sengit juga ya anjir. Gue kira
again,
bakal ngebantai lo
is
boom.
what you would kind of
Dengan
assume from
adanya
having
Morea.
such strong
Morea ini ada
firepower
main,
for
Ji.
Fancy and just really
Gua rasa
letting it go,
Morea ini,
go
aduh.
into that site. Still, of course, 7-8. They're really trying to keep this lead of Boom as minimal as possible. So if Boom trips up, there's going to be something huge. Speaking of Boom, they have
Odot
Berserks.
baru saja
Now gonna be
mengirimkan
using
dukungan
an Odin. Where
10.000.
did he position
Thank
you,
himself
Odot.
on the
Absen,
C
absen,
side?
Odot.
So they're
Makasih,
trying to
Odot.
read this and just try to punish the
Udah rezekinya
plans
lancar
on the
terus ya,
stage,
Odot ya.
which with the Odin actually isn't safe anymore because again of that
Dikali
high
2 ya sama
penetration,
Tuhan ya.
LMG
Dibalas nanti.
capabilities.
I think
Kalau
the other
kamu
side
donate
of the
kali
coin
10,
also
kamu
is
akan dapat
we see
kali
for Fancy
20.
United, they do
Harusnya
love to
begitu.
punch
Tuhan
up
tuh
that
baik.
line in, and that can
Oke.
just be some good
Nice
covering
threat
fire if
kill.
ever, but cover now is out. That's the 1-for-1 trade.
Oke, 4 lawan
Needs to
4.
go towards that B site.
Takel tetap
Seems like
mencari
Fancy
info
United
A,
are-
mantap.
They pivot
Gak ada yang
away
bolong harusnya.
from C,
2B.
rotating
C-nya
towards
masih ada
A.
Rizky
Boom.
berserak-serak.
Now put the forces
Yang habis
towards the
pulang
middle
dari
instead.
Scream or
But
Dance.
this guiding light doesn't get the intel because of the toxic screen. The poison cloud's gonna be there too, and now NC Slasher sees something is amiss on the opposite end.
Cari info, oke tak.
Trailblazer instead.
Ketahuan A ada.
The scouts, Fancy, are trying to hit A here.
Wih,
Now he knows he's backing smartly away for the moment.
satu heaven, satu set.
Leaving
Gimana cerita
a
nih?
more mobile agent
Oke
to
nggak
play
nih
there,
crossfire
so
menurut
use
kalian?
that shrouded step to reposition just in case. So NC Slasher going to be holding on heaven here, while the rest of Fancy start pushing in. There's the rolling thunder. Is there going to be any victim whatsoever? He can't really find Moria before Moria gets the pick, but
Tuh kan jadi
180
sendiri-sendiri
headshot
gitu
onto
loh.
NC Slasher clears up the site. Famous. If he can get a pick,
Tapi
that's gonna
Takel
be a
ada
showstopper.
benernya
But
sih
it's
dia
still a
balik
side.
CT
He can
karena
do
dia
anything, and yes,
karena
I
dia
get
aware
that.
sama
Nice.
ultinya
Versus one.
Breach.
I mean, Fancy has just been so much
Budi
better
kayaknya dia
playing
punya
with and against drop all throughout this game.
punya
Always
make play
marking
gitu
what's
deh. Dia
possible.
misalnya kena
If the
ulti
ones
side-nya nih,
instead
dia
who
main
lose
smoke.
timing,
Dia
Boom
tetap
tries to
dapat
actually
satu sih.
utilize that. It's seen by
Jadi gua nggak tahu
someone like
nyalain
Yes I Can
siapa.
or Jin
Menurut kalian
as soon
kita
as
salahin siapa
possible.
ya, bro?
So Berserk's gonna save the Odin. We'll find out what this for.
Apakah
this
kita
weapon
salahin
is for
Budi?
later
Karena
on.
Budi ini
Maybe a
wah,
special tool
ngerti
that
lagi
can
gua.
help Boom Esports
Kayaknya
later.
salah Sayo deh.
Fancy United, the rotation has given them
Butuh
a tight
Sayo nggak sih?
scoreline.
Yeah, it's
Salahin Dolce. Dolce tuh nggak
Special
pernah
two,
benar,
but-
Jir. Pasti salah.
doesn't work for now.
Gue yang salah ya.
Neo
Oke,
Fred
sorry.
here, Odin.
Sorry.
I think it is. This is the first time I'm just seeing it.
Jadi 8
you're
sama
absolutely
gini
right,
cuy.
going back to your point, with Fancy just being so good at playing off of the utility, the awareness of Jin here, and he's been such a big factor.
Oke,
Ini
ini Boom kalau menangin ini ya,
considering that he's just been
harusnya
pushing
game
aggressively
diambil
into
Boom di
the
map satu
side
ini
by
cuy.
himself for a free couple of seconds before his teammates can even assist him. 14
Oke, kontrol A ini bagus nih. Ini ide yang bagus.
massively
Kontrol A
underrated.
bantuin Budi,
Absolutely strong, and
tinggalin
no one
Budi,
is
kuatin
actually
C
able to win against Jin
sama B.
in these past
Mantap
couple
nih.
of aim duels as well.
Ambil.
Jin has just been
Oke,
non-stoppable
apa push
at
terus?
opening up
Push terus
big
nggak?
sites here for Fancy United.
Wah, Rizky harus
This
tahan
is
badan
a
nih
big
cuy.
reason why they always want to give him these orbs as much as possible. See though, looking to
Rizky
the hits,
mundur.
and Fancy United, as soon as they
Mantap.
felt confident to actually go
Push,
in
push,
here,
push aja,
they
push aja.
already
Push aja.
disregard the gamble
Bokong
Boom
aja
had
udah, hancurin
to
aja
play
itu.
towards A
Trap,
lobby
jangan
and
malu-malu.
try to push it. It's a
Alas ya, boy,
basically
kena
a
trap.
free site. So Berserk stayed back on the way. The Odin is there though, going for the spam. Yes, I can. Taking a bit of damage, sure. But Boom Esports
Wah, tapi ada si Cypher babi ini coy.
have the Cypher though of Suka, keeping
Wah,
an eye out.
ke-delay dong.
There we have the Cyber Cage 2. Try and go for the disengage. The flash though comes into play. Fancy
Aduh.
now isolating Berserks to take
Fancy-nya
care
juga-
of business on the other side of the map. But Famous from afar. That's already a kill.
Fancy-nya
Yes,
juga
I can.
bagus sih.
Critical damage off the Suka. Fancy United though. They might
Dia
be in danger.
langsung
Esports is
nge-react.
running out of time. Crew is here
Belakang.
getting ready.
Wah, dia tahu.
And
Oh, nice boot,
official
nice boot.
Moria though from the
Wah.
top. And Ansley Shasher will end it on a high note.
Dapat,
It
Jing.
could be close on the defuse, but Boom Esports should
Wah,
win this
GG
round.
Boom. Nah, apa gue bilang?
Wow, I honestly thought that was going to be Fancy
Nice boot,
United.
nice
They
boot.
got
TP di
Berserks.
situ, Bud.
They were knowledgeable
seperti
already
ajaran
on
gua,
four
Bud.
people playing on C long, but then Boom somehow showstopper pick from Famous. The heroics of Moria going on higher ground, which I thought was just going to be a kind of diversion so that his
Sudah
teammates can get the
mantap
picks,
ya.
but he's the one that
Skenario
gets
yang
the
mantap.
value. Off of a Stinger double kill and an NC Slasher, all he had to do was just hit that follow refrag. What a thrifty retake here from Boom Esports. Did not expect
Pansinya
that.
udah
Absolutely
react bagus ya padahal ya.
great
Tahu
show of
bokong
course,
rame,
of course, a masterclass
dia push
on retake, showing
Tapi
even
Boomnya
though
lebih
you are
mantap.
down on utility.
Nah,
you can
ini
still
loh,
make
ini
something.
loh, ini loh yang
This time
dibutuhkan loh.
around, Boom, what they did
Adu otot
last
aja, kalian
round,
punya
trying
Aiman
to do
sangat
so
kuat.
again.
Waktunya
They
Budi.
only leave Moria
Budi,
to
mati.
fill
Budi,
in this, but
Budi.
Fisio, though, spotting out
Ulah
Moria as
Bud,
he drops.
serius lah.
Fisio just knows his wall, but NC Slasher knows the angle.
Budi ini
even
suka
better.
bercanda, Jing,
From
man.
afar, Jin is just clocked. The Neural Theft, though, gets the intel, and Fancy United, they back away as the Seekers from Boom will try to just get rid of that disparity, knowing what's going on.
Jellyfishes just
Nah, ini gimana
On
cerita nih?
very long
Kameranya
trail
diubur-ubur,
to
Jing.
go to the C site. Berserk's is already here. He only has the lone alarm bot. He's gonna get broken. Goes for the
Ini
swing,
dia
gets
loh.
the double pick.
Lah.
Cruz gonna get cleaned up. No, he cleans it up and actually gives us the 2 versus 2. There's going to be one
Ada.
playing into the site. That's going to be the planter. Famous now trying to deny Cruz's life.
Nice.
TP onto A, but
Nice
Famous
timing.
finds it, and that's gonna be the spike dropped.
That is just so unfortunate for
seconds
Cruz. All he needed to do was take a single step back. Probably didn't know that, but Shiro there wins it versus Fisho. And Boom Esports, they were just a step ahead, quite literally, of their opponent into that one. If he just backed away,
Itu nggak ngejing
It's a
cok, itu
heartbreaker
menang
because-
babi.
you on your screen, that should be fine. You're in cover, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But you saw the animation, you just hunches over like that. This is why posture is so important, man.
Yeah.
Am I
You know.
wrong?
Sit up straight, guys.
Uh,
But yeah, you're absolutely correct on that one. You don't want to have osteoporosis when you know you. So
Weh,
Odot baru saja mengirimkan dukungan
well,
10.000.
let's see what
Pas
Boom
dipuji
Esports
langsung
can do.
pada nge-wave.
Iya, bukan salah gua kan Bang Odot.
Oh my God.
Nice granat. Nice, mantap. Udah berhasil. Counter-counternya cabut. Reset, minta heal dulu.
So Boom takes a kill, even though it got dicey. Fancy's the one trying to figure out how to set up now.
Oh, they're gonna be trying to able to do this once again. No more yes I can. Give them that assistance with the flashes and such. But we are seeing the Cypher lurk on mid, on B. There's no traps to stop him. Wait, did the turret actually did? And then he backed away. I think he was. Yeah, so he's going to have to just maybe default with the rest of his team. Try to bully for the C site.
Ini Cypher jauh banget,
this is
udah
where
kalah orang
it
jauh,
could get a
ngelek
little bit
lagi
more tricky.
setan.
There's a little bit more time here. So the play right now for Fancy. Show a little
Bagus,
bit of focus on C.
nggak pindah.
If they have to rotate on A right now, they have to do it here unless they.
Nah, kena perangkap 3 kan?
Yeah, here we have it, and it is nothing thanks to NC Slasher. Fancy United. They're trying to find the
Udah, saving aja, Dek.
wallets, but they're coming out with empty. And Boom Esports, they've already marked all the angles where Fancy can come from. Time has effectively run on out. There's no way for Fancy
10
to win this
seconds left.
one. And Boom has been on a roll ever since we saw them just mix up all of their pace Asarai, especially after that one thrifty round.
Man. They lost control here, and Boom just clearing up. Shiro, confidence swinging out on mid stairs there just to get
Pengen membakpau
weapons
tapi
away.
dikunyain kamu Bang Kace, jadi
Man, I
aku
did not expect
gampang
that to actually
kontol lo
have,
Andi ya.
to be
Oh,
what
fuck, kenapa kayak
transpired
gitu,
on
Cok?
Mound. The name
Aneh,
kill
Jing.
from Famous. I thought there was going to be a counter pick from Fancy, especially with Cruz getting the more late paranoia off, forcing Boom to actually back into a corner. It still didn't matter. They still were able to get that pick off. Anyways, as the round starts here, Fancy still wanting to try their metal.
Oke, cari
on
info
that
lagi,
C side.
Takel.
You can't
Mau
see
hancurin?
Jin. Now we clip
Adalah
himself
Boy dapat
with the
dikri.
judge, but against Famous in that long range distance, of course, it's not going to matter. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work at all.
Inventory, drag judge away, discard the ground. And that's exactly what happens there. Boom Esports, they just get a pick for free at the start again. And as Fancy now have to go for the clear without their duelist, it's going to be difficult.
Emang Takel nih nggak pernah bisa di
Suka makes
di
the
flash,
opening
Jing.
happen. Moria though responds in kind. Famous now with a boom, but they should get intel that here the bad.
masih
is
dapat
working
lebih
hard.
kiri.
Famous
Nice!
won before there's a trade. Boom again with the advantage. It's 3v1 now. Moria, TP's into play. He's just still there though. And this leaves the yes I can now.
Udahlah.
In one of those scenarios. He needs
Berikan
to
pialanya
again
kepada
with-
Boom, coy.
He's holding on though. Hillsteer still here by
Ayolah.
bend area.
Udahlah, nggak
Shiro's
usah
there
sok-sok ngetry gitu lah.
for the flank if ever.
Kamu nggak mungkin menang, Jing.
Problem for Fancy.
Tuh,
How
apa
do
gua
they
bilang.
isolate these angles? Moria sure he's all alone in that peak, but he gets 3-4 the round, and this is it. Match point for Boom for the first map.
How does Boom thread the needle of all of these aggressive CC utilities? They
Ada.
get stunned.
Kalau
They
menang di
still
sini ke
somehow
Thailand.
get a pick
Main
on
event.
Jin.
Main
Then
eventnya
he hit the
Thailand.
Judge, but they had teammates right behind them that could immediately save him or get that refrag. But no, it doesn't matter at all here. Boom, able to still get that conversion, and it happens at the 11th hour, Dax, when you can see Fancy creating that huge lead, creating that tempo. They immediately shut it down, especially coming off again.
Kairin
From what
aja.
I would remind our viewers, the thrifty round retake on that C site, absolutely.
Musuh siapa di Bangkok?
bonkers here from
Sabar,
Boom.
nanti gue kasih
Yeah,
lihat.
it feels like they've been threading this fine line of not working and working, right? They're at the border and they just make it work by
Oke, ulti
marginal
manja,
inches,
mantap.
basically. And
Untuk
incredible
nge-push
picks
dia
to begin
balik.
with. They built this lead up.
Paling
Asarai,
benar dia split B
put the
nih.
pressure on with the Viper's Pit. And now Boom.
Dihancurin.
Fancy. Will their
Nanti
break
di
the
stun
door
nih
to
sama
go
Blitz nih.
for the
Agak lain
cross.
nih emang
Mid
nih.
Noizo
Kentut
forced
naga
the
nih.
doorway. Trying to
Nih,
go
Visio
for
udah
the
siap-siap
middle
hancurin nih.
yet again. But Boom.
Nih Rizky, hati-hati nih, di stun nih. Anjing.
Same sound cue.
Nih, di flash malah, babi. Tuh, ada stun kan? Najis, Jing, agent mereka tuh sebenarnya.
Fancy now move to B.
Okay, that's going to be the Viper's Pit. Null and void already here. There can be a push from Shiro if ever. Moria's waiting at a position here on top B to try to go for something.
Kelihatan.
Famous, no nades, only has his satchel, backs away immediately.
Ayo, Bud.
And it's ulti
Kelihatan,
right
Bud.
here. Moria,
Nice, Bud.
timing.
Boom,
And
mantap, Bud.
1-2 onto Jin. The conversion is gonna allow them to press a little bit further. And look at this big flank coming in from Shiro.
Wah, ini digebukin sih.
Itu
Itu dia loh. Ngepick sendiri-sendiri itu yang dibutuhkan biar Boom menang.
Yes, I can. The Rolling Thunder, a last screech
Gak
perhaps
mungkin
from
lah ya,
Fancy
Cek.
United to buy
3 lawan
time.
1.
Can be though. A signal victory if played right. Aftershock also
mungkin
in
lah.
play. NC Slasher trying to go for defuse, but yes, I can. He's
Nah.
doing it so far. The
meledak
shorty's
ya?
there. Moria shouldn't have
Holy
enough
shit,
time.
man.
And Fancy United at the brink of their demise to survive with the spike.
Gak ada waktu
and live to
gara-gara
fight
yang
another round.
gak setengah
yes,
dulu.
I can. The miracle worker. This man still somehow manages to
Ente, itu
find
udah bagus
the
banget.
time to be able to throw out everything, not get punished, and still put himself in a position where his remaining utility actually still denies the start of the defuse on that one. NC Slasher had to try to have that spike, as you saw, because of the timer almost running down that clock. Tried to have it, but the aftershock was huge. And yes, I can really standing on top with 20 kills. Well deserved. This man has been such a hard-working fragger for Fancy United.
It's not just a name, it's a play style. And
Ah.
here comes now the show
Nembak apa, Dek?
in the
Wah,
action.
ini.
Fancy now back into
Dok dulu,
lead.
Tak.
It
Dok
was
dulu, Tak.
before here.
Cek
Maybe
dulu,
they
Tak.
can do so again.
Duh, gua nggak lihat HUD-nya, jadi gua nggak tahu skill apa aja yang ada, Cok.
This time around.
Kenapa sih nggak ada perubahan dari
production?
production-nya? Coba dulu mau nggak coba mau ngelakuin
Si Putra Cing
Wah.
baru saja mengirimkan dukungan 200.000. Kopi Kentot Naga.
Anjing, GG coy. Bang Siput is back. Kopi Kentot Naga kita order dulu ya cuy ya. Abis game ini. Nice. Oke, 3-1. Nggak mungkin kan? Si kontol lagi, si kontol lagi.
Same result perhaps. No, it will just be Boom backing away for the time being. Yes,
Ayo
Icon
dong.
needs to swing it himself,
Nice.
and they will secure the kill here for the Boom
Mantap,
Esports
cuy.
squad as well as the map.
Kita order
13 to
Kopi
9,
Kentot Naga
Boom
dulu, cuy.
Esports with a series lead.
Man, that's gonna be painful for Yes I Can. He had utility to
Itu dia loh.
basically play that post plan, but the time
Thank you ya Bang Siput, semoga rezekinya lancar terus, dikali 200 sama Tuhan. Pinjam dulu 100. Anjay, itu cuy. Teneneng, teneneng. Apa tadi yang mau nanya apa? Oh ini ya. Nih. Jadi turnamen ini loading banget nih. Nah, turnamen ini tuh sel close qualifier. Oh, ini udah gugur nih, Dominator sama Dewa udah pulang. Berarti sisa 6 tim. Ini sama ini. Ya kan? Terus yang lolos, yang juara 1 di sini akan main lanjut ke main event di Bangkok. Apa ya namanya? Cunguk apa gitu katanya. Tuh, Center Point Studios Kemusukum Fit Bangkok tuh. Nah, ini udah ada tim yang menunggu. Talon tuh. Invited. Terus ada saya. Thailandnya 2. Gua nggak tahu ada Thailand siapa aja sih ya. Thailand tuh dia ada khusus. Oh, 2 nih. Ini belum tanding kayaknya ya. Musuh Foxy. Iya, ini ada Foxy di sini nih, full sense. MITH ada Udut. Tersia, AU, NKT nggak tahu. AAA nggak tahu. Aku cuma tahu 2 ini. Nah, diambil 2. Nanti main eventnya itu di Cunguk ini. Oke, cuy, 4 tim doang nih, 4 tim. Ntar misalnya Boom menang nih, misalnya lawan Talon, lawan siapa lah. Nah, juara satunya 6 yang 200 juta nih cuy, 200 juta. Mantap cuy, turnamen ESL Thailand harusnya nih yang ngadain mah Thailand. Oh iya, cairin. Sorry. Boom. Nggak tahu bang, kalau Dominatus kenapa ganti itu, gua nggak tahu kenapa. Map 2 tadi split ya. Ingat gua split manja deh. Tang 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 tang. Koko main kapan Koko? Koko nggak tahu ada turnamen nggak sih Koko? T1. Kapan ya ada turnamen T1 ya? Kalian tahu nggak sih? Next turnamen. Nggak ada lagi. Agent ISO gue belum coba sih. Kayaknya seru untuk orang yang jago nembak gitu loh, karena ultinya buat buy one kan. Oh, nggak tahu sih mana ya turnamennya ya. Next turnamen tuh belum tahu ya. Aduh, Red 3 menit cuy. Sama siapa yang nggak jago gua? Udah ada pesen kopi kentut naga, nanti kita ambil ke bawah cuy. Sabar ya. Kopi kentut naga udah ini. Lagi tunggu datang aja tuh. Bagi aku poin lagi mikir, what the fuck? Kamu nonton dulu ya Don Hawk, nanti poinnya akan masuk ke rekening kamu. Like-nya 100 dong. Betul lah itu kata Onyol. Oh tuh di turni ini Boom gak ada lawan, maksudnya? Beli pisau dulu. Pisau apa? Kokris. Apa pisau apa? Pisau CS. Kokris mau bayarin pisau CS aku nggak? Aku lagi membutuhkan duit nih Kokris. Fuck, salah kopi jing, sabar coy. Bayonet udah kejual, Bayonet. Sama Rosman Toda bin Jagung bin Dagu. Lawannya gampang semua. Iya. Makanya tim Indo nih agak ngeri cuy. Nggak sanggup beli skin CS. Ah yang bener kok Chris, suka begitulah kok Chris. Investasi kok Chris sebenarnya. Kalau beli pisau ini Valo sayang, kalau beli pisaunya doang harus dituntut menjadi beli ini coy. Yang 4.300 nambah kita 2.750 ya. Ya, 2.750. Dapat mongke. Oke, udah mulai cuy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're coming back from that break, and what an intense match that
10.000
truly has been. We ended
dari
13-9
Samuan.
between Boom
Pesan
and Fancy
cara
United,
dapat
but
poin
every
gemen Bang
single
Kacau.
round of that, especially
Nonton
come
Bang
to the
Samuan.
later stage of
Nonton
the
aja
lowest map,
nonton.
felt
Biasanya
like
tuh per gua
Boom
ada
and
setting
Fancy
per
really
5
had
menit
to
apa
work
per
for it.
3
Nothing
menit
was
ya.
truly set in
Dapat
stone.
poin nanti.
Something could always
Makasih ya,
change
Samuan,
or be
donasinya.
turned around, and it was really
Semoga rezekinya lancar
interesting
terus.
and of course very exciting to see. Anyways, welcome back from the break.
How do you get excited, Asarai?
Whoa.
Okay, incredible. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that one. And
Oh, yeah.
I agree with you besides how you show excitement. Besides what you say when you're excited. Because it was such a neck and neck fight until it became that one swing round. Once we went into basically that eco from Boom Esports, when they got the flank, when they got that retake, it was just all Boom from there. And it really felt like Fancy United were just shaken by that point. It was honestly not just one.
Poin buat apaan? Buat seru-seruan aja. Nanti kalau kekumpul, nanti gue bikin listnya. Kalau udah berapa poin, kalian dapat apa? Misalnya 20.000, 20k kalian dapat moderator. Misalnya 30k kalian bisa
Oh yeah, 100%.
main
You're
bareng
also
kayak gitu-gitu
mentioning
loh.
How this is also a map that Boom,
Nah,
I think,
kalau
also plays quite well, so that's
40k
going to be the challenge once again for
keningnya
Fancy here.
dicium
But I will say
lamka.
Fancy,
Bisa juga.
I keep asking here in the broadcast if they're up for the challenge. They definitely are. I was so surprised at just how well Jin and Yes I Can have been playing in that previous map, considering also the match that they had against Dominatas. Incredible stuff coming in from these two. So if they can again play off of each other or be put in positions where they need to step up, elevate, they definitely can make that happen. So I am so excited to see what they bring in to this split map.
I think that's also the one point of concern here for Fancy United. You can see the difference on how they go for their offensive with Jin and without Jin. When they lose Jin early, yes, they'll have utility.
Aku mau
to
dong
get
dicium
in, but
Lamka.
it's
Nah
just
itu,
that last
Lamka.
extra
Ada
punch
mamba mau
in terms of
dicium,
firepower.
sikat Lamka,
Flash to
kecut
set themselves up,
keningnya.
have a way in, yes. But it becomes a trade system that goes more
Tunggu
so in favor
apa
of Boom
lagi?
Esports rather than Fancy United, and that's my biggest point of
Zero.
concern for this
Sudah
series.
autolock
But
Viper.
moving into
Sudah
split right now,
menjadi
it's already
Suigetsu.
the usual suspects here for both sides. I would be surprised to see Fancy
Double
United
duelist.
double controller composition still. It's something they've been running all throughout the year basically.
No need
On the other
Sentinel.
hand, Boom Esports, a double control is on the cards, and Moria and Shiro already hovering for that one.
I really like this double
Pesan
controller.
BG.
Possibly
Faiz.
even the double duelist with Berserks
Berenang
and
nggak sih,
Famous
Faiz?
looking at the Jet and the Raze. There's a lot of options that they can go about because of this. A lot
Main
of isolated
Astra,
angles where they can
double
really
duelist.
mess
Oh,
up
main
any
pull
of
manja
the
nih kayak.
holding
Flash
players
rem,
of
pull
Fancy
belakang,
right now.
smoke,
And this could
pull
actually
depan, smoke
prove to be
belakang,
difficult
ambil
for
rem.
Fancy
Oke.
because they have to play a whole lot more near each other.
Gue berenang sekali doang,
abis
abis itu udah nggak lagi.
Maybe play off of each other with fault lines a little bit farther away.
Gue juga
But I
sekali
do
doang,
really like
abis
this
itu masuk
having
angin.
Moria on that Astra with the threat of the gravity well, again cutting off a lot of exit parts, exit positions here. For
10.000
Fancy would be
Wih.
dari
very
Samuan.
much strong, I
Pesan
think, for
Ud
Boom.
nonton dari
Yeah,
tadi
these are the
masih
historic
0
comps
poinnya.
basically about
Emang
Fancy
iya
United
lu
and
sering
Boom
kayak gini.
Esports.
Sering.
Again, with
Sekarang
the
udah
new
berubah.
additions for Boom Esports,
Belakangan ini
Shiro's
enggak.
the one
Kenapa
on Viper duty nowadays.
kenapa nggak
Berserk
dapet
going back to his more
Bang Samuan?
Jet from his previous history in
Udah
this
gue setting
Boom
lo tuh.
Esports roster. And I'd love to see some
Poin,
of the classics really
interval
in
per
such
minute
a
nih.
historical matchup already.
3
Boom
menit.
versus Fancy United.
Tuh,
bringing
must
out
be
what they're
5
accustomed
atau
to,
more.
bringing out what they saw basically from each other when they were in the same tournament bracket.
Tuh,
So
udah loh.
with that being said,
YouTube
what
pay us
else can we
based on
expect
chat
coming
activity. If they
into this
do not
series?
chat,
How
they will
is
not.
the
Tuh,
aggression
harus
that we
ngechat,
saw
harus
from
ngechat.
Fancy translating
Harus
into
chat Bang
Split as
Saman
well?
tuh.
You saw how
Kalau ini
Fancy
settingan
was
dari sanonya.
very much
Gua nggak tahu dah kenapa.
willing to trade certain utilities at the very start of the round just to get that map control, and they could try to do it right
Harus
here
sering
and
chat
right
ya.
now. What I do
Kalian
like
jangan
about Fancy,
diam-diam bae ya.
with this one, I talk about how they did tend to lag a little bit behind when they were facing up against Dominatus in terms of how well they adjusted to Dominatus' movement around the map, but against Boom, maybe
Ayo,
because they
Pas
are,
sudah
they
habis bypassnya,
have
gua
had some
tutup ya.
history in the past they're a lot more quick to understand where this opponent is going in, and the calls have been much faster from what we saw in the previous day.
Well, Fancy, though, they're accustomed to dealing with this kind of composition because in other outings on Split, they used to have Yes I Can.
Udah, oke.
Since the new additions for the roster, Cruz were comfy on the Omen, and you can see the adjustment made in their
Oh, masih ada yang mau bet. Ayo. Gua kasih dah satu ronda.
Moving towards B, you got Boom, though, prepared.
BWL nggak main, kocak.
Historical spot for him.
Kopi Tenaga belum datang, abangnya lagi nganter. Oh, easy 1 kill with the grenade. Hap! Dapat 2 kill. Oh, hampir. Oh, double damage semua. Oh, 2 lawan 1. Chill. Wah, si kontol nih lagi, Jing. Sisa sendiri, kenapa sih ini orang?
And maybe find the timing versus NC Slasher.
Tolong mulu loh.
Peak though gives confirmation that he's
Last
still
man
around
standing
towards
terus,
the B
Jing,
side.
dia.
And Berserks from up top. Here comes Yes I Can. Wanting to push this, wanting to go in. And the right click enough to net that kill. It's 1v1 now. The Sheriff, the
Wah,
Dash,
kena
they're both
sekali.
flying.
Oke.
A tag sure, but not the bag yet.
One hit.
Response. And Yes I Can. He has time to rotate. He's thinking about it, looking at the staircase just in case the Jet gave chase. And Fancy bring that spike towards A.
30 seconds left.
Berserk is going to be a little bit late to this, but I mean, he has the
15.000
HP advantage,
dari
and
someone.
yes, I can.
Pesan,
Ada 20
oh
poin
ada
doang.
bang
Iya.
20 poin
If
doang.
needed to do so, that would have
Iya,
helped
iya,
his
20 poin.
Berserk's here.
Spike planted.
Mantap itu.
Well, he's going to be holding
Lumayan
that
lah.
angle, but because it's so far
Nanti
away,
bisa nambah ya.
there is a time, there is a position, there is a moment where he can actually try to catch off Berserk's right now. I wonder if he knows that Berserk is coming through ropes here. You can see both of them actually chasing against each other, but there it is. Just a little bit too.
Udah nggak jadi pro player. Gua masih nggak tahu nentuinnya sih.
The wraparound.
Udah ya cuy, gua tutup ya.
I mean,
Udah satu run.
celebration for Berserks. As Yes I Can, he did.
Sebenarnya di satu sisi gua pengen
Berserks to come his
pro,
way, but Berserks
tapi
wisely checking that.
gua ngerasa
Then looking
susah
into
untuk
perhaps
mendapatkan tim
the
di
wizard
Valorant karena
side of things.
orang banyak jadinya anak-anak
They're
muda
unable
gitu loh.
to
Umur-umur gua sekarang kayak lu udah di umur di atas 25 tuh. Rata-rata dibutuhin kalau lu menjadi IGL doang.
As one example of
Itu doang udah.
bringing that one out for the second rounds.
Susah.
Fancy on the other hand.
Nah, kalau
again,
CS
good
gua
for
sebenarnya
upgrade
pengen.
crystals, and I just really want to
Tapi
see
gua cinta
what
sama
the Open
Valorant, coy.
Viper contrast will be compared to the Astra
Boleh lah, Riot
Viper
lah.
that Boom has right now.
Jadikan
Who
aku
can have a
konten
bit more
kreator
utility
khusus
value?
sih.
Will it be Moria? Will it be Cruz? That's something that we answered for the rest of the game.
What was that jump from Moria? He didn't jump spot anything. I wonder if he just like second guessed and then just backed away, thinking that maybe he could back away from that one. Famous immediately rips out that paint shell. Just
Fuck
actually
Cinta.
got
Oke.
spotted, but he's the one that gets the punish. in the
Kita
end.
soalnya gini loh, kenapa gue bisa cinta sama Valo?
Boom Esports now.
Dari Valorant inilah gue bisa kayak sekarang cuy. Kayak sekarangnya itu kayak banyak yang nontonin, menghasilkan dari Valorant, gitu-gitu loh. Ayolah, Riot lah. At least lah, apa kayak gitu. Donasi lah.
And while Fancy has done at least some good damage.
Gua ada di offer Pais sama CS sama tim. Menurut gua offeran ini tuh menjanjikan gitu. Cuma ada satu momen kayak
He's gonna
aduh,
be picking up the Guardian there.
bentrok
Sorry,
dengan
I just
sesuatu
remembered
tau nggak?
Anyways,
Ini tuh GG menurut gua, kalau gua ikut di situ tuh GG. Menurut gua di saya udah auto GG
no,
gitu
it's
loh.
okay, it's okay. Intrusive thoughts, you know.
Makanya gua galau cuy.
No, intrusive
Gua
thoughts.
harusnya cerita
It's
tentang
my-
yang gini-gini
my
tuh
own,
pas
my
live
precious.
membership doang ya.
So it's fine.
Kenapa harus
anyways,
cerita sini,
That
jangan
was
di
just a
public.
great
Nanti deh
gameplay
gua
that we
lanjutin
saw
deh.
from Boom.
Nanti malam
And I
ya.
did like the call for Shiro to
Pakai
just
membership
kind of
dulu.
double up with Famous
Kocak.
rather than holding the corner. You saw that Fancy was almost about to actually check him on the left there, and he just
Alah,
went
membership
to
dulu lah,
double
cuy.
up with his
Saling
teammate.
membantu lah kita
Works out
sesama
in the
manusia.
end. Berserk's a bit ambitious. Could have taken
Marketing
down Suka, but not
101.
gonna happen this
Itu dia
time
loh.
as it picks up another
Nah
one.
ini loh,
Camera
Pais
shooting
ini loh, ini yang
with
ditunggu-tunggu
Slasher.
Pais.
And he might try to challenge this one
Itu loh,
more.
welcome to membership ya.
Equalize the numbers.
Membership di sini
Suka
no
now getting his
scam.
value. Seems to just back away while the rest of his teammates look to start to go to B.
Untuk sekarang bilangnya no scam. Nextnya
playing patiently,
harusnya
anticipating
nggak
Boom to
scam.
advance into them with that double smoke setup. And from that point on, it's Boom now. Lesser numbers, lesser firepower.
Live RP juga ntar malam membership. Boleh.
Fault lines there. Jin also double satchel in.
Ada yang kemakan. Bukan kemakan, itu emang ini tuh udah
prepared for it. They're ready to check any kind of nook and cranny
investasi
nearby.
jangka panjang
And
ibaratnya
also,
gitu.
gonna get the plant down.
Link membership
With
boleh,
that being
Bang
said,
Alfendi.
Fancy
Woi,
here
kasih
prepared
woi.
for that
Link
tower
membership gue mana ya?
contest if ever.
Nih.
It's Boom Esports.
Kamu kan di
Sniffing
situ
out
ada tulisan
anyone
join.
on
Buat
the
kamu
lurk,
aku kasih
waiting to
itu.
see if they can scrounge a gun. That's what NC Slash is doing
Iyer
right now.
gimana?
Super
Iyer
dope.
sudah meninjakan gua cuy.
Away.
Gua nggak tahu kabar
And it's
dia
really
gimana.
good to show
Gua
that
nggak tahu
Fancy
dia
United,
gimana.
They're just respecting right now.
Biarkanlah.
Space Boom
Itu
has
kepalanya.
Sasha. This is a bad spot for him. Almost see, but yes, I can.
Nah itu dia lo turun. Nah itu dia lo tembakan itu lo Cruz. Itu yang membikin kamu mati dongo. Tembak kok begitu bisa masuk Fancy.
Able to
Heran.
spot out Famous
Betar
coming
langka
through
lah,
on B
anjing.
main, immediately shuts him down.
Lu
That's
sedih
gonna
nggak
be
bang
one of the
ditinggal
players
Iyer?
for Fancy United. Berserks equipping himself with the
Karena gini
operator.
loh, kita tuh
No
tidak
more
bisa
focus on
memaksakan
A main.
jalannya itu sama terus
Straight
berdua
up
gitu.
gander on B would
Kalau
be what
seandainya
he tries
Iyer
to do. And this is
jalannya
actually good. I think the
kemana,
conditioned,
Ya
Fancy
jalannya
here
dia.
that the man himself actually only
Sumpah itu
plays
pas
A.
di
So this
volume
could be a
5 gue
good
lihat anjir
catch.
siapa ini keren pakai baju
No one's actually
Persija.
going to be peeking that position. It's
Ternyata
going to be A main
ternyata-
for Fancy to actually start a maneuver.
Itu dia loh. Lu kira pemain bolanya ya? Nggak ada yang badannya kayak gua anjir. Agak lebar dikit.
Contesting towards ramps, wanting to get into heaven if ever. The mid though. That's where the spike's at.
Tapi gue
Yes, I
ngeh itu
can.
tuh baju Persija
FFA.
e-sport. Nah itu loh.
By the smoke
Sengaja
of the
gue dengan
Viper.
pancingan baju
Fancy can't
e-sport
really commit
Persija
to
gue
this
itu
one.
loh.
They can't get that mid control.
Kali aja ada
There's no
dejek
way
yang
for them
menyapa
to
gue
split, so
gitu.
they pivot instead,
Tapi
moving
gue
back to the
takut
other
satu
side.
sisi ntar
Interesting here
salah satu
is
dejek
you can
nyapa
see Boom,
gua
they're not
atau
even
ninju gua
afraid of
jing.
anybody holding A heaven from the attackers of Fancy United. Immediately they just go for that mid pinch, and this might not even be spotted right now. Berserk is in the perfect position to get a pick, charge that dash of his, get out of harm's way, and let his teammates maybe get that frag rolling.
Itu tuh yang
But I
sama
thought
gue
it was
waktu
going to
itu
be the
sebenarnya
Ramen
minta
push.
foto.
No,
Ah
look at
siapa?
Suka. He's in danger. Shiro
Cewek
is
lu ya?
so
Kan
near
cewek lu
for
sama
that
cewek lu
backstab.
kan?
This could
Is
get
sama siapa
dangerous
lagi?
for Fancy, who's trying to
Kalau
create
ketemu
tempos
bonek
all
gimana?
across the map.
Yeah,
Waduh.
this is
Woi
Fancy
bang,
United
woi Bayu,
might
lu yang
get
benar-benar
caught
rela,
in on the
Bayu.
lurk here. The flash is there, though.
Lu mengancam nyawa gue tuh Bayu.
Cypher has
Gue
actually
tuh
moved his way towards heaven, so
bukan lagi roleplay jir.
game of patience now.
Iya, ada chat dari Kuaci itu kayaknya, coy bengong.
Into the wall bang, and Suka
Kan gue berdua
also
itu udah
playing
nggak
it
lagi.
perfectly, slipping
Waduh.
through the defense.
Sorry ya, nggak bermaksud ya Bang Pais ya.
Man advantage.
Gua nggak tahu kalau lu
Fancy
nggak ini.
United. Plant going on down. Jin already finding Moria, and the resmoke here from Cruz is a go, keeping anyone from heaven at bay yet again. Shiro
Do dengan flanking manjanya, Do dengan timing yang disiplin banget. Do dengan menahan, dia menunggu aksi dari teman-temannya dulu ya Gi ya. Oh exit kill sebenarnya. Gua kira lo 3 lawan 4, ternyata 2 lawan 5 cok.
Esports can come from, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see it be an exit strategy instead. And that's exactly what Shiro's doing. He's just waiting now to see who'll come out from this side onto the garage. Yes, I can.
Ini
He's
dia,
so patient.
trigger
He's
disiplin,
key.
mendapatkan 3 dari Do, ternyata 2 saja.
That's all he'll get there
Aduh,
at the
agak
very
geter-geter
end.
manja,
He's gonna
pasti
get tied
Takil
up
ketawa
2-2
tuh.
because of it.
Wow, that
Kruk, kata
round
si
was
Takel.
just a masterclass of timing and patience from Fancy United. I was talking about how, oh, this is bad for Suka. Oh, this is going to be terrible for him. But then the flash of the sky, the guiding light onto A main doesn't spot him out. No one was actively checking A heaven. Yes, there was an angle where Famous was holding it, but he could not spot Suka. So Suka slowly creeping through A heaven, and the catch onto Berserks to gravitate the rotation immediately for Boom solidified Fancy's lock on that round. Absolutely beautiful timing. Absolutely great confidence for Suka, who was just by himself and somehow manages to sneak past enemy lines.
Yeah, in a game of patience, it was Boom Esports that blinked first. And Fancy United now, they have a way in with the Rolling Thunder if they choose to. But you can see already how they've been playing these rounds here in Split so far. A slow and steady pace, trying to gauge the utility on the opposite end and look to bait out whatever they can from it. Moria though only holding on to a classic Boom. Their economy is hurting after the past few rounds, and Jin now navigating through yet again more.
Welcome to membership, welcome back Dinan Galandi Gatuso. Waduh, kok jebol gini cuy? Kok tiba-tiba lawan 5 lawan 2 gini cuy? Boom win or lose cap. Ini real Aldi Huang cuy. Gua rasa ini fake cuy. Gak mungkin Jing ini benar. Yang benar ada badaknya, yang benar ada logo telur, tau gak lu? Setidaknya. Itu fake, gue gak mau kena lah. Gue gak mau kena jebakan fake-fake gitu cuy.
Imagine if they actually throw everything at him. I mean, that would be ridiculous.
Kita cobain itu.
You can never really tell.
Pal,
Anyway,
kentut.
Suka actively searching,
Jangan
picking,
extend Jing.
and his
Terus gue
role as
gimana
the
Jing?
lurking cipher here really is
Fake kan?
dividends
Menurut gue
right
itu
now for
juga
Boom.
fake. Gue
Because
setuju
the
sama
thing
lu.
is, even if he doesn't get
Fake
the
kan?
pick,
Fake kan guys?
they
Wah,
always
fake itu
have
benar.
to look a little bit behind them, and Boom's
Oke, Val.
rotation is
Yang asli dan setuju tak? Gue setuju sama lu Bayu.
slowed down by it. Not only that,
Fake itu,
of
cuy.
course, the
Minimal
sword,
membership
the
lah
spear,
kalau
Jin
asli.
is
Gue percaya.
managing to find all of these
Dari
picks
segi
off of
gameplay
that
nih bang,
front line, off of the
lifetime-nya
satchel
lebih
charge, and
lebih
it
lama
is a
CS atau
potent
Valo.
mix that
Sekarang
Boom right
CS
now
udah kayak
just
Valo
cannot
cuy.
swallow.
13 round kalau misalnya menang, udah nggak 16 lagi. Tapi OT-nya beda. Kalau Valo nyari 2 dulu kan. Kalau satu sama seri kan. Kalau CS masih nyari 4. Di 4-0 menang. Ya gitulah, lupa
Here's
gue.
another thing I'm kind of noticing. Moria, who's
Bang
been
Valdin
so
Dominatus
good
kenapa rombak
at the
roster?
in the previous map.
Valdin
Really
katanya
not
nggak
his
mau
fault
dia
right
di
here. He's putting out the
Dominatus.
smoke. See, the gravity well
Ayolah,
as you can
ayolah.
see,
Nah,
he's not
trade
really
kill itu
getting
loh yang
as
dibutuhkan loh,
much,
cuy.
play as
Di mana temen
as we would
open
want
fire
him to
kamu
do
harus
so.
keluar
This is
ya.
going to be the quick picks
Kalau
for
bisa
Fancy.
secepat
Again, the
mungkin,
B-
jangan
the
sampai
B side is
terseret
going to
nyawa
be
temen kamu.
terrific open.
Cruz,
Maybe
kamu
gonna
dengan
be a
posisinya di
close
sini
one once
kamu
again.
mati terjing. Ayolah. Kamu di situ aja stay terus ya.
Fancy United now
Planted.
just stamping their authority towards B. They make it even more so with the Viper Spits. And Boom Esports, they barely stand a chance now unless they can get a pick early on onto this post plants. There's no real way. Cruz also with the From the Shadows. So Fancy United.
Reset rank kapan lagi Bang Kaco? Baru juga reset rank.
That's pretty much it though. Boom isn't gonna even try it.
Defend-nya. Ayolah, defend.
Might as well just save the weapons.
Udah,
They're
kalau
just gonna
misalnya
have an
ini
operator
coba
and the blades
kontes
coming into that
B-nya,
next
mereka
round.
ke
I
B
wonder if he's gonna give
terus.
that to Famous so that
Coba
he can
kalian
just play with
kontes
the blades
B-nya.
with Famous. I don't know,
Ada
maybe
ulti
depending
tuh.
on-
Ulti. Oh, nggak ada
Oh, this
Omen
one.
ya, susah juga bro.
Depending on the
Yes.
you know what? Blink it and you'll miss.
Nah,
I
itu
didn't
dia loh.
blink, but then I missed that it was his own comrade that he actually spotted. My bad. Anyways, could actually try to give his teammate the weapon just in case Famous doesn't
Iya,
have
rungkat gini, cuy.
any weapons to try to utilize. He's gonna be on that sheriff. I don't know about this boss, but we'll see how this goes.
Baru tahu
Speaking
kalau
though
aman,
of the other side of
Fadli.
the team, Fancy, they're
Atas bawah, atas
so
bawah.
well positioned right now. Great economy, good ultimate available for them. Suka's nearing his neural theft. Jin has access again to that showstopper. We'll see how they start. Looks
Wah,
like
sekarang dia ke
charging
A.
in onto that A side.
Well, Boom still
Bunuh tak?
has the
Ya.
option.
Oh my God!
Rifles
Nggak
work
mati,
with an
Jing.
NC slasher getting away
Tanggung
with
gitu
his
anjing
life.
tembakan takir.
Disengages rather than dies. Fancy United though making their way towards A in the quick take now to change up the pace of these rounds. Planto going on down. They have the Poison Cloud there to go for the cover too. Fancy though preparing themselves into these corners. You also watch out for Fisho, but the showstopper is the
Fred,
call.
nice.
This one famous.
Ini harusnya mati nih, posisi dia galau nih. Ayo, pick, bareng. Itu udah kejepit. Nah, itu dia loh. Nah, itu dia loh. Nah, itu dia loh, Bud. Tipis dulu, Bud. Setengahin at least, Bud. Kentut naga lu ya.
Operator. You need it. But wow, just did not expect
Bisa
that
PayPal
hit
dong.
to
Enggak,
actually
enggak.
happen there, but Famous.
Aduh,
when
gimana ya
he got
jelasinnya, cuy?
himself That showstopper, he's
Um,
able to convert.
Di
This
webnya tuh ada
happened
tulisan
on
join,
Dota.
Bang
It all started
Alfiandi.
from Famous
Join.
using that showstopper,
Nah.
basically bewildering
Nah, itulah.
Fancy on
Gua
what
lupa lagi.
their positions are, slowly dismantling the
Ucil
post
kemana Bang
flank
Gaco? Udah nggak
and
dibuka,
somehow
udah nggak
managing
dia.
to
Men-
hold off. It
mau
wasn't a thrifty,
mencari
but it was
opportunity
close
yang
to
baru
that.
menjadi
As you can
coach.
see with the weaponries that they've had, only just a couple
Bisa
of
biasa
sheriffs,
tuh
maybe a
pakai
bulldog,
kalau
and
HP-nya
they
Android
still,
bisa pakai GoPay.
somehow managed to convert the round into
Kalau
a win.
iOS
Yeah, it's
kayaknya
solid
harus
retake
di
here
copy
from
linknya
Boom
dulu deh.
Esports, and one thing they do so well is they
Terus
find
buka
the
di
angles
Safari
what
Mesh.
lead
Di
to
Safari
plants
maksudnya.
onto commit positions. When they got that A main, Jin was absolutely in trouble. They put their
Mana
forces
Hamdan?
to try
Nggak
and
tahu
win
Bang
on
Hamdan
one side while
sibuk mulai
keeping
kayaknya.
pressure on the other, and that just keeps Fancy United staying
Bang,
in
coba
those
kamu kasih
locations along the
tutorial
way.
join
From that
membership.
point on, it just cascades to
Kita lagi
their
fokus
retake
nobar
being
nggak sih,
possible.
cuy?
Oh yeah, and now Boom
Safari
Esports
Mesh skin ya,
positioned quite
betul.
well to actually stop Fancy here.
Nah ini
They
loh,
have
AWP yang kayak gini loh,
Cosmic
atas
Divide
bawah
for
loh.
that retake. You got
Alah.
Viper's Pit if they would want to cut off a certain big chunk
Dengar
of
dong,
the
what the
map,
fuck? Onyol ini
Seekers,
agak-agak sus, jing.
just so that they don't really miss anybody anymore, as we saw from that Suka lurk. Speaking of Seekers, very
Wait,
early here from NC Slacker.
Wah, ini
just
nggak
to get
jalan,
a little
anjing,
bit of
gosennya.
information. Suka's gonna be dealing with all of this, only making
Kopi
noise
kentut
from
naga
his
gua
own
udah di mana,
rifle. This is
Cok?
a big deal, because now Boom, they're still unawares of what is happening. Is it going to be the full push? There's the smoke. They're trying to cross through it with the Cypher utility. Now it's a little bit of a guessing game. And again,
Lebih percaya
back to
alien
this,
apa
Boom,
Gemini?
no one holding
apa
that
maksudnya?
A having
Gua nggak ngerti
control.
sih.
This leaves ropes and mid to their own device, and we'll see how
Oh,
this
timing.
goes.
Famous is
Timing yang
here.
bagus, Fikri!
Again,
Ah,
look at
shit,
one Shiro
my.
go onto the site, making such a welcome from Boom to Fancy, as difficult as possible. Time running out. Boom Esports knew the commit was happening.
Nah,
thanks
itu
to
dia
the
loh.
timer, and Ansley Slasher even finding Cruz.
Nah, itu dia loh.
It's a mystery.
Nah,
Cruz is
ini
located,
baru.
and now it will be
Boom
Fancy
Esports.
United enveloped by it. 4-4 side up.
And again, I thought it was going to be a risk, but they knew that they had time to actually set up some counter utilities there with the Viper Spit immediately. You can see Shiro not missing a beat to get that value, but one of the biggest things that was a big factor to how Fancy kind of donked up that round was
Gimana,
Famous
Cok, IGL-nya
pushing
Shiro
out
atau
of
siapa?
the smoke on A main, able to get the
Shiro,
cash
Shiro.
onto the players
Yang
of
gua tahu
Fancy,
Shiro.
actually dropping down from window. And because of that, basically disrupting the offense that they were kind of setting up. Oh, I love this double up here from Boom Esports. The smoke is there, the wall is there, but I don't think they're going to be aware of the up high, down low. So they might be too slow to react to this.
Wow, that rhymes. And well, Boom Esports, they've been playing with the time very well too. They realize Fancy United, once they group up, that's pretty much it. That's going to be their commits. That's what has given them that prior round. Berserks though, still a watchtower here towards B. It's been such a
Gua baru
difficult
mau
scenario for
komentarin
Fancy United
Fikri
to
ngapain
stay,
lihat
but in
situ
this
ya?
one, Berserks should be able to spot them and see them.
Ini dia ya. Hello, happy birthday.
A few rounds prior when he was all alone.
Holy shit,
This time
man.
around though, the cloud is there. Jin trying to get
Wah,
on
itu dia
in.
loh. Tembakan
Surge
pasti.
tracks him down. Moria also, there's covering fire for him too before he's felled.
Haha,
Famous
nice.
now,
Itu
reinforcements
loh,
have
bagus.
arrived. Boom Esports. just
Teleport
making
kamu
that
itu
toll
bagus
gate
ya.
that Fancy United
Terus
cannot fade.
Gotta love that. As a, you know, when you play that operator, you just want to take that.
Mabar
breath. You
manap
don't wanna
boleh.
panic. You see him double satcheling in. Just
Kalau napnya
remember,
mau ya.
you still have a bit of time to keep your composure, hit the shot, and deny them that push. And because of that, again, we flip back to what you said before this second game started. After that first map ended, that Jin is one of those big factors for
fuck,
that
go?
entry. So getting him shut down
Ngapain kamu
really
crush
reduces
tapi
the
ke
chance
situ?
here of
Gak
Fancy
apa-apa
to
itu,
start
lebih baik.
bleeding in to the site here. So Boom Esports starting to get a bit of control.
Alah boy, alah boy. Nah, Bobi sekarang Down syndrome atau syndrome betul. Wah, ini orang sih ke B terus, Jing.
Yeah, control though.
Orangnya
giving
ngotot,
to
Cok.
Fancy United because Boom Esports gambling for that mid take. And this is a freebie for Fancy United, who'll set themselves up for success onto the post plant. The screen is there. The players are there. One also on the lurk with Suka. So I'm keeping an eye out.
Benar.
If he can get the catch. On to Shiro here.
Boy, ini
Comes.
dia loh,
He's over the
manis.
advantage. Shiro Theft also into play. And Boom now might be regretting giving up that site.
Suga's just so good at these timings. He always finds
Sorry.
Shiro.
Itu Cypher yang bunuh ya?
There it is. Kind of called
What the fuck, man?
fancy catch.
Sumpah, ini Cruz hobi banget di situ,
More so
Cok.
it's Fisio and
Emang
Cruz
posisi dia ya?
toes.
Dia kayaknya dia punya rute tuh cuma B,
Suka's still
TP.
actively looking for any
Kalau
counter
dapat
lurks
setnya dia
here.
ke situ tuh. Hell terus tuh.
I love how Suka just has that timing. There's nothing really that Boom
Ya,
can
rute
go
dia cuma
do
satu,
against
Jing.
it.
Terus ini.
And Fancy tying things up, and on the attacking side, getting 5 already, looking pretty good for them overall. Just goes to show
Nah,
that
Ki,
Boom will
itu
still
dia
at
loh,
least get
Ki.
one for the round with Berserk
Kasih
from
yang
the
serem-serem,
operator.
Ki, seperti Scream or
The
Dance
big reason
kemarin,
why
Ki.
they save in these kind of scenarios. They want to keep the
Gila,
op
coy.
to play the same way they have been on B for the next round. It's been very oppressive. You notice also that Boom loves to put someone to tail Berserks just in case he needs cover. And it's a twofold thing. I've noticed in the past few rounds, especially that last one. It's just basically you give Berserks a companion so he doesn't flick away. He just holds the angle. Someone else can alleviate
Tipis sih
any other
skornya.
pressure.
Tapi
And if Boom gives
seharusnya
up the space
defense
that they were being oppressive
7
with a
lah,
while
7
ago,
lah.
then that will be
7
three sides
aja
and
tuh sebenarnya
three
agak
still
berat ya.
decent for Fancy.
Absolutely agree
Tapi
with that
kalau
one.
misalnya
It
dia
just
punya
feels
attack
like,
bagus
again,
ya, itu
Berserk
ke B
can't
lagi
really
nih.
handle it just
Spray boot,
yet.
spray boot.
He's not
Percaya
on
sama
the
gue, boot.
position where, again, he's on that
Let's go, boy.
KJ. Ooh, Moria.
Tarik
Alright.
mundur.
He just has to use all of his utility there. Abandons the site once again, and Suka never missing a beat. Shiro just can't
Duh, kena
catch
terus,
a
Jing.
break. 4 versus 5.
Jadi ketarik takelnya
We have
juga.
Moria who
Ini
does
retake-nya lama
have
ini.
the cause
Harus
to divide.
nge-clearin
Slacker
ini
finds
dulu.
Suka here. All he really has to do is bide time, wasted.
Wah, ini makan waktu yang lama sih. Tinggalin tak, tinggalin tak.
Yeah, he's
Let's
not
cruise,
back there right
cruise,
now after that
cruise.
one. Suka's being stayed
As
off.
usual.
NC Slasher still keep
Selalu di
trying to
situ,
keep it at bay,
kentut.
actually. So in the end, Fancy United, the numbers advantage towards the site is still in their favor. Flight
Nah,
still
itu.
coming in from
Terus ini
Boom, but
bener-bener
Fancy
kentut,
United
anjing.
will shut that
Oh,
down
nice kick.
quickly. Berserk
Save aja, Ki, save, Ki,
holding
save, Ki.
onto the off still, gets a kill, but the chase is on. Fancy want to get rid of this as soon
Ki,
as
dikejar, Ki.
possible. Berserk
Nah, itu
is
dia loh, Ki.
incoming, under
Sikat, Ki.
pressure, gets the shot.
Itu dia loh, Ki.
Shot
Ki,
two,
awas
gets
mati, Ki.
another one,
Itu,
and
aduh,
Berserk's
ente-ente.
he will be stopped at 3. Suka gets 3 of his own. Fancy takes the lead from here.
Finally.
Tumpah ke B terus, Jing.
Take away the operator from his hands, but he's got so
Sebenarnya
much
bisa
cash.
sih
Look
kalau
at
mereka
that,
ambil
back up
B-man.
again in his hands.
Telat
The-
sih.
Yeah, the sniper.
Now, operator.
Nih, dia telat nih.
But
Kan
I
nih
will
diambil
say, though,
pakai
it's not
stun.
getting as much value
Ambilnya telat,
as
nanti di
what
dog
they would
ikutin 2
like it
orang,
to
Res
have.
sama
The
Jet.
one time that the operator from
Resnya
Berserk at least
granat
found it
pantul.
smart was the double up that we saw from
Jetnya
Moria,
nge-pick, kalau nggak
there on
dash
B
ke
main.
sini aja.
After that, it was basically
Anjay,
nothing.
anjing gak sih?
So they're actually gravitating him a whole lot more
Nah,
to
gini
this
loh.
position. This is
Oh,
gonna be
Alah, siya
difficult.
boy, kelihatan
I think they
itu
saw the
ujung.
barrel.
They
have
saw the
to have.
barrel, of course. Size does matter in those scenarios, and you can see that it was just free
Nah.
their way to spam through
Boot,
smoke.
pick
Now
lah,
here
boot.
comes the shots. Boom Esports. They went for the fight. Fancy United is a weight class better. And from this point on, they now dictate the pace of the round. It's a 4v3. They also still have the Rolling Thunder to utilize, as well as smokes
Wah,
from
agak
the
berat
open.
sih
So
ini,
Fancy
jujur.
can set themselves up
Nih
for
masuk
B.
setnya ulti
coming
sih,
into this
feeling
one.
gua. Kan?
All the pieces that we saw from Boom just do so well on Lotus, not
Acel nih.
looking coherent in this one.
Flash.
There it is, the setup. Double satchel again
Oh,
from Jin.
info, masuk satu.
Spotted Moria
Waduh,
onto the
kena
corner
stun
here, but
lagi.
shouldn't matter at all because all of this utility from again.
Waduh,
Reach
kejepit
making
Budi.
it difficult for Boom to hold the site.
Dapat satu, Bud. Nice, Bud. Dapat lagi, Bud. Alah, siya, boy.
Fancy United will move even deeper and take this site away. Plant goes down.
Rocket
Everything
fish.
left. The famous now. We've seen him find clutch moments on B sites
Ditembak.
in previous encounters and previous tournaments. Can he do so yet again? The pain
Gak ada cruise. Gak ada cruise, gak ada yang di situ. Gak ada cruise, aman aja. Kalau ada cruise pasti di situ dia, di hell.
It's 7-5. Fancy United breaking news are in the lead.
Waduh, kok jadi yang 7 ansi
Fancy
gini, coy.
United just able to punish everything. They've had this setup for the entirety of the first half where Fisho just throws out all of his Viper's smokes.
Oh, udah ditandain, tandain nih. Mau kemana nih? Kayaknya ambil mid deh, cuy. Dia nandain ke
They don't go in on A.
ke
and they
fan.
can always just try to go for that pinch on
Smoke
mid.
Mel
It
nggak sih?
works out so well for them.
Ah.
And Boom Esports struggled. Still somehow though 5-7, not the biggest of discrepancies that we've seen, but it's going to now be a test for Boom how well this double controller, double duelist works on the offense.
And this is such a good half for
Wah,
Fancy
ini
United.
annoying
They
sih si
have the
Suka
lead
ini
now,
main
moving into their
cyphernya
defense. They
jing.
still have the peskiness
Harapnya di
of Suka,
tempat-
that double controller. Yes, I can.
Nah,
the
itu
pressure,
dia
But yes, I
loh.
can is the one who will be saying, no, I can't hold here. Famous
Ini map
finds
kedua.
him after a beautiful combination of utility from Boom. Jindo trying to dip his toes into
Wah, ke B,
the
regroup ke B,
murky
mantap
waters
nih.
of mid. It's a problem.
Pas banget
Boom
nih.
have pivoted the way, moving into B.
Oh, tapi yang backset kalau nggak ke
Go for this. There's no
dihancurin sama
tripwire for
Viper.
Cypher. Just a smoke. Suka's gonna charge
Nice.
right in, but Famous doesn't even care. He goes the other way around, turns the
Nah,
bend.
aduh.
Suka's trapped by himself.
Harusnya mati
It's
dia.
only a
Nah,
matter of seconds before he goes down, and that will what happens. Jin got the nade. There it is. Counter nade from Famous here just to stop him dead in their tracks, and they can start to replant the spike once again.
Yeah, and because of the nade being thrown over onto open, now it's time for them to just put it down onto default instead and stick around on the site. Flash though coming forward, knows already the alley presence
Satu menang,
of
Boom.
the Omen. Jindo's
Nah,
spotted on
itu
out, no
loh,
escape
pistoron
from
yang
Boom
flawless
pipelines.
gitu loh.
And it's a flawless pistol to begin the second half here for Boom Esports.
And this is where it gets trickier for Fancy. What kind of setup would allow them to punish this double push? And this is what you, again, would love to see from Boom's offense right now. B, usually you just want to rush yourself back at that B back corner and see where it goes. But now they have that option to just come around the bend on pillar, catch opponents off guard, and it might actually be enough, especially again with the controllers strategically placing these smokes in spots where
Bikin nggak ada.
it kind of just isolates and separates the defenders. Speaking of the defenders right now in this
Oke,
round,
nahan
Fancy,
dulu, mantap ini
massive
anti
stack.
push.
all of them stacking on that A round.
Come on, flip a coin. If heads, they go A. If tails, they go B. And that's the gamble.
Itu
Fancy
aneh-aneh kan
United
mereka
are
kan?
trying to play with
Nge-push
right
5.
now. They can't
Hero
get
dapat
over.
1.
Hero if ever with the
Alah,
sheer
siapa?
numbers.
Cabut,
Sun's there
cabut, Dok,
too, and
cabut,
as
Dok.
soon as they establish contact, yes, I can was so quick on it.
dapat
It's a
2 sih,
front
oke
towards
sih.
Hero, and he handles 2 before he's overwhelmed. Because of his
Dapat 2 tuh
sacrifice,
udah
though,
oke
Boom, they
banget.
scrambled towards B to put that spike down.
They do have a bulldog.
Dengan keadaan udah di hit.
Berserks. He's feeling adventurous. Okay, spotted right now. No, he doesn't want to risk dropping that Guardian.
Aw,
He
man.
wants that double up with
Berserks.
Moria.
Where's
Yeah,
the
no.
fuel for adventure, man? But here
Alah,
comes the adventure coming
Oh
his
my God.
way.
Pick aja,
Jin
Bud.
gets
Dia nggak ada
one,
senjata,
Moria
Bud.
answers back, backs away from that one, and it's a 3v2. As Boom Esports, they are wondering though where Yes I Can will come from. That's why they're sticking around towards the end of the site.
Tim
Towards
tersatu
the
ini
corner.
baru Boom
Famous
aja
actually
yang
catching
kelihatan
out
sekarang,
Cruz.
iya.
So backside hold, that's
Nanti
the
Predator
call.
harusnya banyak.
All Yes I Can do right now is hit a headshot and call
Harusnya
it a day.
kelihatan.
7-7
Kayak
tied up.
yang
but
masih ada tuh
damage
apa?
done by
RF.
Fancy after that first pick,
RF.
it cascaded into a few more.
Alter Ego.
Absolutely.
Boom.
And you just saw Boom wanting to try their
Evos.
try to meddle
Terus,
here, just see where it goes. You know? If they hit a shot,
GPX.
it's an ego boost, but not gonna happen. So they're gonna get
Dewa,
into this bonus with a couple of stingers.
Persija,
Always loving the stingers on
Persib.
any situation here
Banyak
over the sheriffs at certain points, just because if you can
Bigetron,
rush in,
Onyx, ya.
basically Zorg swarm aside, it's perfect for just being able to overwhelm an opponent. Boom. Ooh. Oh, the
Ah,
dog.
lihat
What the dog
Cruz.
doing?
Cruz nggak jelas sih
The
anjing.
dog biting. That's what they're doing.
BBL nggak ada,
Cruz
Cok.
got stunned up, sure. Boom though can't actually capitalize on that. It's a bonus round here for Boom Esports. They put a lot of presence towards A. They back away now. As soon as they realize
Alter
what's
Ego
close
ada.
by. And you can see
Mau-
the
masa
intention
mau
of that
di
last
spill?
round. After that last round by Fancy United.
Alter
they
Ego
expected
tuh
yet
gua
again
spill deh, satu
numbers
deh.
versus numbers. They wanted
Push.
to answer back
Ah,
in
udah
kind.
satu aja ya.
And it's a similar regard. We go to Boom, headed towards B. Only one effectively watching Insuka with the camera. They might realize this is coming his way. The Cyber Cage, the one-way being a threat, but Famous has no fear,
Nice.
and that's why he's in, and that's why Boom will get this side. Showstopper also, just to compound on that pressure. Where does he let loose the rocket juice? Let's see now. Flies to the corner, into the alley. Doesn't get much, but Boom has the sight. Shiro's lurk though. This is a problem for Jin. Goodbye to him. It's
Boom.
4v3 though, and okay, Fischl.
Buy time, mantap.
Danger here. Boom Esports, they have a good hold on
Del
the site
Delby
now.
udah di ini dia.
Coming in through alley with
Masuk
Cruz,
band
just about to
17.
pinch as well. This could actually
Delby.
still work out for them, especially if they can hit this shot. Shiro is gravitating a bit of attention here. Actually spots out Fischl finally.
Nice bonus sih.
It's all down to the one. Play against Cruz, 2 versus 1. Spotted. Gonna have to back away as that spike already saying there's not enough time for you to pick up this round, defuse me, and win it.
Ini
And
dia
we'll
cuy.
say that,
Menang
that
bonus
hold from
round.
mid elevated a little bit more of the pressure that they had to deal. They couldn't really use
Perfect.
everybody on that retake for Fancy.
Yeah, fast 2 rounds. It has
Kota,
been
kota.
basically B is for Boom.
Terus.
And
Kota,
Boom
kota,
will
kota,
go
kota,
B
kota,
as soon
kota.
as they realize no one's around to stick around the site itself. And that's become a problem for Fancy United
Perut
right
gua kok
now.
sakit ya, cuy?
Usually you'd expect more pressure from
Kalian tahu gak kenapa
having
tiba-tiba
that
perut
breach,
sakit itu?
having that cipher, but someone like Famous
Kira-kira
just
kenapa
clear
ya?
some static utility. And if you're not wary of the angles,
Baper,
you come
baper
at
itu,
from,
baper.
you're just gonna get caught busy trying to set up for a retake that isn't gonna be possible for you. So it's been strong for Boom in terms of their entry. Let's see if it keeps up, because that's a big win for them. 3 rounds in a row now.
Yeah, this is the big problem for Suka, right? It's because he has to basically split his utility on mid as well as B. So because of that, there's less position for him to actually try to be more successful as a sentinel on that B site, especially when, as you can see, Famous double satching in. Why is that a big issue? Because he keeps coming around the bend on pillar, and Suka's just not able to respond quickly enough against
Pillar
this.
roster. Epos.
Fancy
Roster
United
Epos
put the
itu.
forces towards mid this time
Luminaire,
around.
Aura.
Trailblazer also scouting where Jin's at. So Boom can assess there's actually many players towards mid, and it's the same kind of pace. Figure out
Masuk
where there's
aja, cuy.
only one person. Shiro's patience bears fruit yet again.
Roster
He's
M1.
planted the tree so many times here, Azurai. He's basically made the forest by this point by the way he's growing these lurks. Planto looking to go down towards A into the corner.
30
Fancy
seconds
United
left.
on the other hand, getting a bit of that A main
Oh, tackle
control.
flank nih.
There's a flank also.
Ini sih control mapnya udah bagus ya buat
Slash
Boom.
to help on now. They have that tower control rather. Famous
Tuh.
instead gets the kill on the Jin. Boom Esports using
Tuh.
the high and low ground to their
Tuh.
advantage.
Apa
And they
gua
just
kate?
catch Fancy United in the act
Shiro,
before
Shiro.
they can even head their way towards the site.
Shiro's had enough, man. He was the recipient of some cheeky lurks from Suka a couple of rounds ago. Now he's the one who's getting the catch off here on the attacking side. He's able to just catch, cruise, open up the entirety of that A site. That is going to be a bit painful
Kata
for
gua barusan.
Fancy. Don't think we've seen a tactical timeout yet for Fancy, but this might be the time to do so as it's starting to get dangerous in terms of the territory. Boom is about to hit 10 rounds.
Kaan lagi nih.
Now that
Pas
there is
nih,
gonna be
pas
the
nih
weaker
momennya
fight
nih.
for Fancy here.
Ah. Mantap
It's
nih.
kind of the same for from that last map, Azurai. Once Boom got a good streak going, Fancy United look completely lost on what to do, and they're also completely fended off from the site. Boom quickly making their way towards A, very confident
Wah,
because of the
ulti loh.
disparity.
Respect loh.
On the eco
Ulti
state,
pakai aja,
Cruz
jangan
here
disayang-sayang.
tries to test with the classic. There's the stun coming
Waduh.
into play. Cruz gets the kill because of
Budi
it.
kenapa
Well done,
nggak
sure.
nemuin sih?
There's more work needed to
Kentut.
be done, and that gun cannot be utilized whatsoever. On the
Suka.
long flank, though, it's Suka. We've seen him make this happen before. He gets the one to his name. NC Sash still ready for another. The pop flash into the fight.
Itu
into
dia
the
loh,
kill.
Tak.
It's 3 for NC Slasher, and a 3-round gap between Boom and Fancy now.
They still had to go for
Turning Indo
the
jadi
long push.
farming Boom ya, Bang?
Even though there
Enggak
was that
juga.
flag falling up from Suka, of course,
Ini
Timer was going
tim
down
Indo
for that,
banyak
spike to get the
quad
fuse.
juga nih, kita belum
And,
tahu.
You know, if ever they somehow managed to get into the site, they were able to beat up the 2 players.
Tidak boleh
Boom still
meng-underestimate
playing
tim
on
lain ya,
They
Gi,
had
ya.
to deal with Shiro, who invested his
Isi gini bener.
his Viper Pit to just again play that post plan. Now 10-7.
Nih Cruz sih agak
Jin.
lain loh. Apa sih si Cruz nih
Operator.
kentot? Dia
Secret
TP
operator.
tapi dia turun lagi, Jing.
And because of it, As soon as they pop the Seekers, they see the three spreading out. They're like, okay, we're not going A. And it's been the
Ini
case for Boom so far. Early
please.
intel
Aduh.
leads to the rotation, but Fancy, a stellar answer finally brought out. Jin with the operator, stopping the initial.
Mungkin ya serunya kalau Boom menang ini,
They don't have a
dia
dash, but
ketemu
they still
Naos
can
kayaknya.
utilize
Naos kan
Famous just in case.
lumayan tuh
Losing Berserk in that
rosternya.
position.
Tapi Naos
Gonna
lawan
slow
Oasis
down
gua nggak tahu
the,
siapa tuh yang menang.
The offense right now of Boom. Famous making a lot of noise on A main though, just trying to catch.
Oke, menurut kalian gue pensi aja nggak sih cuy?
For the moment, you can see Boom
Gimana
just
cuy?
trying to re-encapsulate the
Aduh,
map first.
untuk naga lah.
While they still have a little bit more time, but once we hit about that 40-second mark, 30-second
Ada
mark,
OP,
they
ada
have to
OP.
commit
Nah.
somewhere, so it's a little bit safer for
Itu
them.
loh.
I don't think I've ever seen Boom try to play a site where there's
Ganggu-ganggu
still like 50
B-nya
seconds remaining.
ke
But they're
A,
gonna
mantap
start
itu.
moving pretty
Penalti
soon.
bang,
Yeah,
Abi
that's
Bayu
why
ya.
they're rotating right now towards A yet again. Fancy though has the right read on this. They're preparing towards ramp. They also go for the aftershock. Cruz with the one. Jin again winning the duel on the other side of the map. And Cruz with the clear. One more time, one more fight. It's Moria here, the only one
Clear RP.
standing. The team
Emang ada
to
RP
the high
pro
ground.
player.
6 bullets left in the chamber. Enough to secure the round. Fancy United finally back on the board.
Never mind.
Emang
no need for
kalau
that
gua
tactical
fokus
timeout.
stream,
You can immediately
kalian
just
mau
bring Jin
nonton
with an
kalau gua main
operator.
game apa
He gets
aja.
one much more
Itu aja
efficiently
deh.
than Berserks did when he was one-to-one defending, and that's gonna be a big
Antum nggak
problem.
tertarik
Here's
jadi
another thing as
coach
well.
apa?
You think that you might be able to overwhelm Jin with
Organisasi
the
atau
if you
tim-tim
try to
di
do
Indo
so,
tuh maunya
he has
orang
a
luar
showstopper
coy.
to use for a response. So that's gonna be something big that Boom will have to
G,
take into
enggak
account
berarti kan?
here and now.
Jaket
The big
Kremlin,
at least
iya.
deal here for Boom
G.
is that since they got
G.
so many rounds in, at least they're going to be able to keep funding their push on the offense right now. Famous, where is this happening? What is happening? It's just so confusing. But both of the teams just backing away through A main here. As you can see, so many smokes, so many flashes, and they were just as confused as we were trying to back away. But Jin here, not missing a beat.
All right, he
One.
went in, he went out, and now he's gone. Jin
Polos gitu,
with
cuy.
another one. 2 bullets, 2 names. And Fancy United is taking orders with the
Tahun depan nggak nyoba
operator.
VCT? Kayaknya
Fancy has just
kemungkinan
put a
ya.
complete halt
Enggak
to
kayaknya.
the Boom offense, who has been relying on these rotations to allow
No
them
player,
in.
nggak ada
Just a
player
single
lagi di
sight
Indo.
line needed by
Udah
Fancy
pada
to shut them out.
cabut dan udah punya tim.
Now, this gets a
Susah
little bit
player Indo nggak ada
Actually,
lagi.
there is still a chance here for Boom because they have that cosmic divide. I will say though, Moria
Cek kiri.
feels a little bit underpercented right now. There it is. They're gonna be using it. There's the smoke. Berserk's holding here on the positioning.
Oh,
Moria's
Jin knows.
just about to peek
Oh,
on Jin,
ketahuan.
and they just missed each other. But the important kill
Aduh,
is
ketahuan.
Cruz on A main. That's gonna leave NC Slasher in a 5
Main
versus
mode bang
1.
gas M9.
Ah, this is
Tabi nggak sih?
gonna be something.
Oh,
No,
satu,
there's the one, at least.
dua.
Nothing being done, and that's all she wrote for NC Slasher. The thing about Jin is, he may miss you on the look, but he does not miss you on the shot. And that guarantee has given Fancy United so much presence wherever Jin is stationed. And that just compounds to the other strength of Fancy United, that utility in the mess that was the famous entry. What was there? You had
Didik
the
pemain
Viper
baru
setup,
dari
you
rank.
had the paranoia from Cruz. you
Susah
had
sekarang tuh
basically
kalau
stunned
mau mau
from
tarik
ESIK,
anak-anak
and it
muda
forces
gitu
Boom
ya.
to just
Mereka
literally
tuh
turn 180 and say, no, we
rata-rata
cannot
ya,
go here. They
kebanyakan
move
nih,
into Jin.
bukan
They know
berarti
we cannot
semua
go
ya.
there also. What
Karena-
other options do they have?
Karena
Boom
udah
is not
banyak
finding the
orang
right
ngerasain di tim dapat
Jin is just
salary
such a
gitu
sharpshooter
pada nggak mau
here.
untuk kayak
Not
diajak
missing, timing
tim
perfect.
stakan gitu loh.
And every
Jadi
opportunity he can get to take
agak
a shot
susah.
and be able to get that kill, he will be able to convert it, which is
Pasti pertanyaan pertama ada
such
gaji
a
nggak? Ada ini nggak?
annoying thing to deal
Anjir.
if you're from Boom right now. Speaking of Boom, or rather for Fancy,
Kalau
here,
ngulang dari
they
awal
will
tuh udah
need to
paling
wait
susah.
out 2 more rounds before Boom starts to lose.
Apalagi yang udah
that
ngomong
money of
kayak,
theirs. Yes, I
kalau
can
nggak
hear
gue
a
susah
mid
buat
setting up with
ini
Suka.
butuh apa namanya?
Nade to clear him out, but he
Butuh
still can't
uang
influence
billing
this
warnet
with his
gitu-gitulah.
own Rolling Thunder. So
Bukan
this
pada
could
mata
be a big
duitan,
thing
emang
for Boom,
membutuhkan
especially with
itu.
so many players of
Karena-
Fancy playing now on top mid.
udah terbiasa punya
Suka.
Gila
Just a
banget.
small bit of timing fancy
Terbiasa
needed to
dengan
actually get in
adanya
there.
gaji
Eurotech
gitu loh.
now allowing the advantage of utility to go in favor of Fancy United.
kontol.
I love the
Apa itu,
call
anjing?
with the neural theft. Even better with Cruz waiting here.
Gila lagi.
Just because even
Eh,
with
apa
the
tadi itu,
smokes,
cuy?
even with the flashes, Fancy will know where their opponents are. And here we go yet again. Marked a line drawn literally with a tripwire. And boom,
Ada
Esports
yang-
cannot find any way
kecoa,
to cross.
serius, real.
Fisho actually even with a knife
fuck,
out. Here comes Moria on the
Hindi ada
last
kecoa,
stand.
anjing.
Fisho with the last blow.
Mungkin,
And we're
Cok.
tied up.
Wow, Boom just lost everything there. Fancy United. Incredible turn of events. The map control so different from the start of that second half.
Ya udahlah,
Look at
pensi
this.
aja kali ya,
Twice straight
cuy.
rounds for Boom, and
Kayaknya
after
emang susah cuy.
Jin having
Mau
his
nggak mau
operator,
harus
after
ke tim
having
luar di
that
ghosting.
wind of change,
Kentut.
3 straight rounds right now for Fancy. You're absolutely right. Perfect, flawless defense.
Wow,
Right,
time
so
out.
now they
Akhirnya
use
kita
with Suka, who was getting some
ada
trouble
time
on
out.
that B site. They just move him away. They put him on the mid, which is perfect because again, Jin can just hold B main by himself.
Dimana
with an
tuh?
operative. Gets a
Tim
little bit
yang
too hairy
utuh
compared to
tuh.
Suka. He has a nade. He has
Ada
a
tim, kalian
showstopper.
tahu lah
That
dari
is
negara
gonna make
mana.
Boom think twice, and this is what Fancy is banking on.
And you kind of think about it, right? Why is Fancy getting more success with the solo hold operator
Susah,
in
benar,
certain
susah
angles in
Obeng.
previous rounds
Susah
compared
banget.
to Boom Esports? And you look at the
Susah kalau udah
composition.
fokusnya ke arah
All
sana.
Boom really has is the sky.
Gua kalau banyak duit
Yes,
ya,
cut up the
makanya kalian
sidelines
donasi
with
gua
the double
dong,
controller.
support gua
You
jir.
can get in
Jadi
there
gua
quicker
banyak.
with the double
Jadi
duelist that Boom
kalau
Esports
misalnya
has.
gua mau buat
But they don't
tim,
really have a way to
gua bisa
per
ngegaji
se, like,
walaupun
stun
cepet gitu.
up the up, right?
Pakai
Make it
seblak mau nggak ya mereka
compared
ya?
to what Fancy had a
Atau
while ago.
ketoprak gitu
And if they
bayarnya.
were able to put on that passive pressure.
2 kali deh,
Just that
sehari
extra
2
bit of
kali deh
confidence,
ketoprak.
Giving Fancy United the edge to
Pakai
play
telur
in
rebus.
those ankles. The last round
Mau nggak
also
ya
defined
orang-orang
by
ya?
a neural theft, giving them all the clear sight lines or clear spots of their opponents. And that's what we're seeing right now for Fancy United. They're feeling very comfy on the defense, knowing what tools they have.
Boom, ayo
Boom
dong,
doesn't.
fokus dong, ayo lakukan defaultnya seperti biasa yang sudah dilatihankan dengan default manja kamu itu, flash, oke, boom bot manja.
Can read an opponent
Aduh,
such as
nggak
threatening
nyampe,
as
Jing.
Boom.
Alah siapa yang nyangkut?
Again, Famous even tried to double satchel. Oof. Oof.
By this point, it's a bit of comedy. It's more so a tragedy, and it's just an
Waduh, ada
accomplishment
one
by
way
Jin
kentut.
to be stamping his authority
Tuh kan.
multiple times.
Wah, ini sih
Same
agak
pace
susah
as
sih.
Suka.
Terus dia taruh
The
catch-nya
weird
dua-duanya
lane
di
is
situ lagi.
expanding because of the one way, and this long alley is his to call. Boom Esports. They're just not just lost in the woods. They just cannot even be found by anyone or any entryway whatsoever. Asarai. What
Wah,
else can this
saving sih
offense
menurut
even do
gua.
at this point?
Menurutku sih
That's the
saving
problem
ya
here.
ini.
Boom, they don't have an initiator that we saw here from Yasakat and
Dulu
Jin.
mau
Right, from
nenangin
Fancy,
KD,
where
Andi,
they can play
Andi.
off of each other so well
Muka
on
kayak
that attack.
bakwan anjing.
Here for Boom,
Mau nenangin
now that they've
KD.
been spotted out, it's the lack of anything to allow them to flush these corners. Yes, they have the control there. Yes, I was talking about how they can use those gravity wells, but we haven't really seen any of those punishes because they don't
Waduh,
really know
pusing nih jadi
where
boom
the
nih.
players of Fancy
Susahnya menjadi
are
attack
placed.
ini
And
cuy.
again, just go back on the one controller
Paling
from Boom.
benar.
Moria. What is happening with this man?
Ambil
He is
rem
really
sih.
struggling to find any value
Ambil rem aja
whatsoever,
udah.
and it is hurting
Kacel
them. When
sama
he's been,
dash, dapat rem,
activated, there's that
kill,
extra
cut
level,
noise.
there's that extra step
Si
that Boom can use,
takel,
but now it feels
ke
like there's
mid.
nothing.
Kirim,
They got away with
Zero.
that. They got
Yeah, he got
away
dapat
with
mid,
that. That was
langsung
dangerous, and
split
again,
A.
Fancy United
Atau
have
kalau misalnya Zero dapat
basically
bunuh orang B,
moved all
split B.
the efforts Boom has done all throughout this
Maka
half
cok
so
kalau
far.
boom yang time
Crushed
out
it into the
terus
ball,
lawannya
threw it in the trash
juga
can
boleh,
and
boleh.
taken that lead back. It's still doable though here for Boom Esports. They have rifles to work with, but I feel like Asarai, if they don't win it here and now, it's gonna be even
Nah,
harder into the next
ambil rem,
run,
ambil rem.
where it would
Ambil
be
rem,
match
Vic.
point for Fancy
Waktunya
United
nggak sih, Vic?
already. Do or die
Nah, itu loh.
here for Boom Esports.
Ini loh yang kita
They do
butuhkan.
put more presence now towards a
Wah, anjing,
Famous
jaga dua,
is
Cok.
into main.
Itu sih agak susah
Still
ya.
can't move with the wraps thanks to the presence of Cruz and Yes I Can. Looking
OTO-nya
instead to catch out Fisho, and there you
Aduh.
go. Famous gets the one. Cruz on the board though for the trade. Boom. They didn't expect more to
cuma
swing
ambil
right
GoFood
after the
gimana?
initial peak for
Technical
Fancy
biasanya orang
United.
izinnya.
But at least they get a pick. Can they work with it?
Makanya pas
They
lagi
still haven't
tanding
spotted
jangan
out
pesen
Jin.
makan.
They should have an inkling that he's been B the whole time. So They're taking their time slow here.
Aduh,
I thought they were
AWP
gonna
lagi
try
coy.
to press a whole lot more
Gue
on that A
mencium bau
site.
kentut gitu ya coy.
Oh, the fake smoke, that is just telling to Jin. Oh, somebody's here. Somebody wants to step up to the challenge plate.
It's almost like you just want to tell them, please don't walk here. Please just go for the swing. And that's one
Ah,
thing
itu
that's
dia
Boom
loh.
doing. Moria, fancy footwork.
What
and
the-
Jin brings two to the grave alongside his own corpse. The showstopper
Inilah.
with stunning applause.
Ipadin
You
lu
think it's
kenal
only for the
jatuh.
one? Just
Oh, dia ya?
collateral damage is
Terus
truly
dia
a
ambil GoFood ya?
possibility. And Fancy
Nah, agak
United,
lain Jin
they've
itu
seen
orang.
NC Slasher. Yes, I can.
Alas ya boy.
Oh, that's a rare whiff
Aduh,
because of the
ada stun
movement, but
manja.
Suka does not miss. Shiro though onto the inside. Small chance right now here for Boom Esports. Shiro versus the
Wah,
two
gila.
and the Rolling Thunder to keep him at bay.
Ada
No
waktu.
time to plant. No way in again. And Fancy
Inilah,
United
cuy, mungkin
shuts
yang
this
gua
one
ngerasain ya.
down, close the door
Menurut
to move
dari
into match point.
dari segala
One
macamnya
opening that they had
roster
was the
Boom ini
one
kuat,
opening
Jir.
that they still fail to take
Empower
down
kuat.
Jin before he can create that
agent
impact. The two
poolnya pada
kill with the showstopper.
apa
I tell
luas
you,
gitu.
as
Siapapun
long
bisa
as
main
he's
ini,
still
siapapun
there,
ini.
even if he whiffs the
Cuma
shot,
kalau lagi
he
keadaan
has
kayak gini
cover,
nih,
he has
nah
that ability
itu loh.
to back him up in
Itulah
the situation
peran
to get
seorang
him
boomer,
such
cuy.
big plays, such big
Dibutuhkan di
kills.
sini.
Oh man, this is a struggle. No, this is a threat, a conundrum for Boom Esports. to
Jadi
try to
emang
roll over and Fancy.
Kalau ada yang
So
lebih
here,
berexperience
we can
tuh
go to
lebih
right about now.
gampang
And
untuk
now, can he handle the
dibebanin
pressure of a
itunya,
full
tau nggak lu?
assault? The answer
Nah,
is
ini menemukan
no.
solusinya nih.
Boom. They just go for
Problem
the full
solvingnya
send
udah
here.
dapet nih.
They are
Ambil
on
B
the
dengan
wall as
utility yang
Rider
mantap,
stuck
cakep
into
gitu.
the corner on the scoreline, and they do move in to just
Nah,
get the
tinggal
sight away from Fancy.
after plan-nya doang
The
nih.
blades effective.
Kayak gimana
First
mainnya?
lurks with the operator
Itu
also
loh.
in hand. Mid presence though established here by Fancy United.
Tuh,
And
Budi
it's Fisher
bantuin
the one
tuh.
to watch out for.
Posisi
Famous
Cruz,
though
nah.
tucked away neatly. Stellar
Nah,
kill
itu loh.
for Zerx. Also good
Cruz,
for his
Cruz.
own.
Wih,
Cruz, the
jago
fight back.
anjing Cruz kalau
Cruz
ngebunuh
on the
orang di
duelist.
situ,
The
coy.
flash is there though, keeping Suka at bay. And watch out, because Shiro's right behind you. Suka falls now in action. There's the TP as Cruz makes a play for
Nah.
himself. Shiro though tracks him down,
Gitu,
sees
gitu.
the head. Cruz is dead. We continue on here on Split.
Just one more round and OT we go. Is it gonna be possible? They put basically the entire Boom team just to
Udah hatem
beat
dia benar,
out
makanya
Jin.
emang posisi dia
Works
anjing
to push
dilihat
ourselves
Cruz nih
one
kill 20, cok.
more round
Gokil nggak sih?
is such a crucial time right now. Look at the change here for Fancy. They've actually brought back Suka to put his utility there on B. Actually, just going to
Suddenly.
pressure a lot more, put a lot more emphasis on that mid gain. And actually, I don't think it's a bad idea, especially now that, again, Boom have been so adamant at just committing the 5 push in a certain direction.
Well, the commitment comes from Fancy United early on. The Viper's Pit, just to remove A from the options early. You have established a big mid presence here from Fancy United as well. And I'm keeping an eye out on Suka
Ke B
here.
lagi nih,
He
tapi
has
main
the tripwire
pelan.
and the camera
Tuh,
closer to
ngeri
the
di
battle
pick
site near
satu-satu sih.
him. Just to go for initial catch
Tapi
up
harusnya
and
nih-
duelist who flies deep. Speaking of now, you get the cyber cage pop to establish the one way. Here comes
Wah,
Berserk
kena
and
trap.
Famous, and you can see that they
Wah,
are
nice.
victims of
Waduh,
Suka's trap.
kena trap.
Fancy able to trade
Waduh,
evenly. Yes, I
waduh.
can swings the advantage.
Alah.
And the trap is set, sprung by Fancy
Masa
United.
ya,
A lab
cuy?
where Boom Esports has struggled to actually navigate through, and the only maze runner left is the one.
Apakah Shiro
here
bisa
for Boom, the
nge-clutch?
Viper moving into alley. The snake of Shiro trying to get through the grasses. Yes, I can though. He'll be found. It's Jin now ready for contact close. But time running out here for Boom Esports.
What?
1v2.
What?
Shiro makes it a 1v1.
Oh,
and
shit,
Shiro cannot be the
man.
hero as Fisho will shut him down at the end. Found
Hampir,
and
Cok.
Fancy. Fancy United take that one 13-11.
Oh my god. Yeah, 25 seconds. He got the pick onto Jin, but then looked away as Fishy
Aduh.
came from B Heaven. Oh,
Map
it
3 cuy,
could
map
go
3, map
wrong.
3
It could go
Heaven
wrong
ya,
there for
Heaven.
Boom, but Fancy United loving the combination that they had there on that B site. I actually thought that the utility from Suka was broken, but no, they were able to still get the catch on with the tripwire.
Ente, masih ada map 3 cuy, aman.
One of the biggest ones was being able to throw out an aftershock at the box beside pillar.
Wah,
so that
yang
nobody from Boom can use that
bet
as
ini
some
gimana
sort of
cuy?
cover. They had to swing out and try to beat.
Gimana menurut kalian nih? Aduh, rungkat manja kah? Wah, ini gach. 2 orang yang ngebet fancy. Waduh. Air dong. Siapa tuh yang dapat? Kok nggak bisa dikomplitin sih? Oh, ada komplit. Mamba OTW cium lamka, kenapa gitu? Gara-gara apa tadi ya? Siapa 2 orang yang ini? Kok Chris kok rungkat kok Chris? Kok Chris mau top up poin? Bisa kok? Ada nggak sih? Aduh, nggak ada lagi kok. Nama lu harus dicari satu-satu. Gak ada cok. Berarti kok Chris nonton dulu ya? Atau sebenarnya ada manual kok. Kalau gua dapat nama lu bisa top up dengan cara mendonasikan, cara donasi. Top up gua seakan-akan memperas gitu sih. Oh, emang berapa poinnya sekarang Mamba? Anjing lo Mamba ya. Lu Mamba. Dapat turun. Oh, udah nyampe ya? Belum coy. Belum nong. Di mapnya masih baru mau masuk. Sabar. Belum di bawah kocak. Emang iya real. Udah di bawah. Real manja. Ori. Oke, sabar ya. Cuy, gua ambil kopi kentot naga sama ambil barang bentar ya cuy. Oke. FK sebentar aja. Gak bisa ditelepon, bisa kok cak. Bentar cuy, 4 menit juga kan.
Yeah, motivated on focus. Came a long way from the lowest. Yeah, gotta get it the mindset, gotta put it in motion. This is the moment, gotta one up my opponent. Back then they ain't noticed me, now they know it's me, I'm the chosen. It's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. They say what doesn't kill you make you stronger. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. Yeah, whole lot of times they doubted I wouldn't be who I am without it. Sleepless nights, I counted. It all paid off, it's really astounding. I had to keep the faith to elevate. Hope for better days, they were coming. Now we can celebrate, knowing every day is abundant. Yeah, it's my time, yeah, I put that on Bible. No excuses, gotta get to the final. Take all of my idols and turn them to rivals. It's all or nothing, man, the trophy is vital. Game time, bet I'm coming in clutch. No hang time, man, they can't keep up. The game's on the line, seconds on the time. Who can't fight? It's gotta be us. Better under pressure, go ahead and let it fall on me. I'm destined for it all, you better call on me. monster. All that pain, it done made me to a monster. Why don't we take a trip, quick flight overseas? Somewhere you ain't never been and slide on something. It's got me wondering. Why don't we take a trip to the 513? Take a shot at the liquor and slide on something. And it's got me wondering. Why don't we quick trip to Miami and back, ayy? Down a party, let me know where it's at, ayy. Drop top off the coupe in a fast lane. Pull up to the club, pull up with, tell them valet. Off the tequila, we mixin' a drink up. Hit up your friends, we all get to link up. Only do sins, we all getting teed up. Back of the bands, we in the seat up. 5 ways on a B&B. Turn it off, leave the phones on a D&D. Good view with the scenery. And we all for the grid. Lost in it, why don't we take a trip, quick flight overseas? Somewhere you ain't never been and slide on something. It's got me wondering. Why don't we take a trip to the 513? Take a shot at the liquor and slide on something. And it's got me wondering. Why don't we slide on something? Why don't we? It's got me wondering. Why don't we? If I throw it at you, would you quarterback back? One too many, I'ma quarter past that. Got one roll, then you better pass that. 2 throat, I'm teed up, I mean it, that's fast. Why don't we get up out of here? Got your eyes on me, and let them interfere. Put it right on me. Go ahead, shot. Put your tide on me while I ride the wave. I'm wide awake. You know we gotta live in the moment, no time to waste. I know you wanna work to live and live to play. Forget that. Live life, take a sip. Why don't we take a trip, quick flight overseas? Somewhere you ain't never been and slide on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are split. I don't know where I was going with that. But it's game number 2 went the way of Fancy, and that's why we're coming back for this break to introduce to you map number 3, game number 3 in this best of 3 series between Boom Esports and Fancy United. Haven is going to be our last map, and Fancy came back on that second game with such a flurry that Boom just could not really deal with it. It ended 13-11, but you could see the struggle Boom was in trying to finish out that game, and they didn't. It was Fancy that caught them, and again, won.
My brain cells are split after that intro, Asa, right? But you're absolutely right. So, focusing on the series itself, Fancy United, an incredible adjustment in the middle of that second half. Bring out the operator, be oppressive onto the main angles, catch out players like Famous and Berserks, and call it a day. And look where we're heading now for our last map, for our decider. It's Haven. And if you remember, all the way back a few months ago, the last time these two teams met each other, this was the map that sealed the series for Boom Esports. It was a 2-0 back in Ascension, a 13-10 on Haven. But while now we have new faces here for Fancy United, we have new faces here for Boom, and an even scoreline to see who will win it this time around.
Oh yeah, no more Nizzy, so that's going to be something. But definitely Jin has taken that helm as the explosive top fragger here for the Fancy United team. And what you can guess about this is what's going to be the power output of Fancy United with just the single duelist main in this particular team. It still seems pretty good. They were able to hold themselves a little bit more farther back. You know how Nizzy was such an expert with Yoru, and he was just making some very aggressive solo plays. This time, Fancy feels like they were able to reel it back in a little bit more, hone in on what they have, and really mold that into something very, very powerful. And we do see that with how they played on that split map. Now, looking into things, I love the pickup right now for Fancy. We got ourselves a Phoenix, we got ourselves a Gecko, and this is a combination that I love to use, or I love to see here in Haven.
It's okay. You can tell us our ladder stories later on, Asarai. But Fancy United, it's exactly that. The point to make here is without Nizzy, no more Yoru shenanigans from Ascension. He has studies to do, and he isn't going to be in active competition anytime soon. So you use the strengths of your other duelist player, your main duelist player, and what does he have in his pocket? It's this Phoenix. It's something I believe run in previous teams for him. It's something he does in other maps as well. And Yes I Can is actually very familiar on the Gecko playing on this map even in previous compositions. So this means no more chamber shenanigans for Fancy United. I would be wondering if they're still gonna run with the double controller, and that's gonna be the call. So Cruz and Fishio still sticking with the Omen and the Viper. It really feels like here for Fancy United, they have pillars between Omen and Viper, and then it's like, whatever you guys want to run, whatever kind of pocket picks you have, let's see how we can make this work.
Yeah, and what I like about this is we have seen a composition like this a couple of days ago, right? Double controller, just the Gecko as that initiator, and it kind of falls a little bit short in the flashing department. So I do like that Jin plays as that Phoenix. Again, what's kind of strong about this is you have more supplementary flashes to help out with that Dizzy as you enter the site. You have that capability that with get killed, you will be feeding off your ult charges on that run it back of yours, and it is so strong because it's only 6 charges. One of the cheaper ultimates out there that hasn't been nerfed by Riot just yet. I don't know if they're gonna do it, but it's very strong. It's very, very powerful.
Look, if you get rid of the 6 on Phoenix, you kind of throw him back into the dumpster tier, honestly, because it's a whole core component of the agent. You are pretty gung-ho at getting in there. If it's a map that you can get orbs safely, you actually play to your namesake, and it really lets you utilize your utility well with those curveballs, getting in close, rounding those corners, and clearing out the angle. So it seems like that's going to be the call here for Fancy United. It's a strong approach, especially perhaps towards a site. It's a little bit similar to their old plan with the blind side, right, from the Yoru. So you can see that the components are still there for Fancy United, or rather the tenants with different components instead. Boom, on the other hand, tried, tested, even with new faces. This has been for so long the Boom composition of choice ever since what, March this year, and it's always running the Breach and the Sova together, putting Famous on that jet. Berserks though back on Killjoy duty, which he has been thriving in all throughout the tournament. It's time to see how this configuration of Boom will handle Haven.
Yeah, and having that extra bit of utility from Berserks, I think it's just going to do wonders for them. Of course, they're going to be starting here on defense as well. So, Fancy though.
Thank you ya Bang Bayu, Bang Siput.
Did the thing. Okay.
Aku bisa membeli kopi kentot naga ya.
Boom Esports, there was a little bit of an issue. Everything should be okay now.
Dyan na masih normal aja.
Soon. But I just want to point out the fact that you have NC Slasher into this roster right now. He's the one slotting into what Berserks had to play back then. And it really just goes to show the journey of Berserks to make it to that center role. It took so long to pick an agent.
Kayaknya ada sesuatu yang baru nih dari Fancy nih.
I'm really excited to see what
main
he can do.
Gecko.
Because a while ago on the jet, there were
tadi udah pick
him, but it still wasn't as sparkling compared to some of the Sentinel performances he's had in the previous map on Lotus, as well as in the previous series that they've had so far.
And again, it was a stretch there. Maybe once we see them back on Split, they might change things up a little bit more. I know that it was a pretty close endeavor, but it feels like it wasn't the same Boom that we know that has so many options on what they try to deal with. Maybe it's just Fancy being that difficult to deal against, or just Boom really lacking the options that they are so known for whenever they play a map. But in any case, absolutely right. Loving to see Berserks back on.
Ada yang mau bet lagi nggak?
Rest of the squad starting off. I love the attacking again on that Phoenix and the Gecko. There's a combination here that is going to be working.
Udah datang
we're going to be seeing it in just a couple of seconds.
Has to be a bit more careful though. There are a few times in the past 2 maps, and especially
yang bet cuma 4 nih.
That he died too early on.
Ayo bet dulu lah satu round.
See if Fancy United
cuma 4 manja cuy.
Kayak
sepi gini.
Though, ready to be oppressive.
Kita minum
They
kopi
have
dulu guys.
darts, they have the stun, and they're ready here for an A
Agentnya apa
split
sih?
push if ever.
Gecko,
Berserks
Viper,
holding on to short. You got
Phoenix.
Shiro on long, lobbing the darts. The Toxic String though gonna be very fesky for Boom to deal with. As fans
Oh
are
rungkat, ya
pushing
udah
their way
chat
towards A.
chat dulu biar masuk.
Slowly trying to go
Chat
through.
dulu.
Is he gonna get repicked
Kita
up
kocok
here
dulu kopinya.
by
Terus
Gecko? By
kita
yes, I can.
seruput.
No push just yet. If they try to
Itu
go
dia,
for
bro.
short, there is that turret that is gonna be receiving that contact while Berserk is just hiding in the corner. If they have, I don't know if they have the wingman actually here, but if they use it, Berserk should get spotted right now if he's not careful. Though, look at this. Somehow,
Waduh,
Jin managed
Famos
to go through and
keculik
garage, and he even gets the pick here. Could
di
actually
garage.
fend off the rotation to go all straight to
Oke,
C.
Berserk
But
juga
no, they just wait for the
keculik.
picks and they're getting it.
And
No
as soon as they
turret.
got that kill right, Boom thought it would be
Udah
safe
mulai
to peek into A
pindah.
lobby. Fancy United playing
Tarik-tarik
so well
semua.
to start onto the defaults. And with a
Nyari info
non-committal
lagi
push,
nih.
picking up the spike now.
Nyari info
A
lagi.
is that primary target.
Tensinya
And you
disiplin.
understand why. It's still where
Nahan.
the Phoenix will get the most value. I do feel like the Gecko can
Kayaknya si ini
also
dulu yang main
value
dah.
the
Cypher
there.
deh yang main deh.
And the only one standing now against Boom Esports will be NC Sasha directly in front of them.
Waduh, buta
Paranoia
aja.
though gets the connection. Shiro tucked away on the short as well. And it's Fancy who
Waduh.
needs to clear out this angle
Lah.
ASAP. Jin with
Lah.
one more fish. Suka
What?
finished the job.
Woi,
off.
kamera!
And Fancy
Anjing, gua kira Shiro
has
yang
just
bunuh, Jok.
navigated well
Real.
for a flawless pistol.
Bukan ternyata Jir.
Man, Fancy. Starting it off.
Ayo gua
slick.
tutup ya coy.
No defense.
8 doang yang bet, ya udahlah.
Held off Jin there.
Kocak
This is
itu
an
namanya.
interesting fact. As long
Nathan mau bet. Babi ya Nathan ini ya.
as Jin
Buruan,
is
buruan,
winning
buruan.
all of these duels against the front line of
Buruan
Boom,
bet lagi weh.
there really is nothing to do.
Kocak.
Just stop it. Press that advantage
Oh,
as
gua
hard as he
tutup nih.
can and as much as he can.
I wouldn't be surprised for Fancy to actually position one
Ah.
of their members or two of their members to contest the orbs moving forward. And Boom is aware of that. To push towards C long just to try and see what's going on there. You also still have Shiro watching out for A long itself. So Boom at least, they're not giving up these orbs for
Annoying
free.
banget anjing Viper.
Cloud though, allowing
Nutup
cover
satu
for Fancy
tempat untuk
United. And they're playing
nyari
default
info.
yet again, just trying to scope out for Boom
Jadi main
Station.
belakang.
Famous has a Marshall on short. So he's going to be just using that to cover this position. It's a 50, or not a 50-50, but a 33-33-33. See where you try to go on, stack that side. And it seems like their read is going to be on the A. Berserk's already spotted.
Wow,
Look at this
flashnya.
pick by Jin. Stunned though. No picks will be taken. They're trying to hide inside the smoke, and they're still challenging.
Whoa.
There's so many players
Whoa.
attacking the side. They're going to have to try to deal with this, but it's
Lah.
not working out. Moshpit does overwhelm Famous. But look at the numbers. Still a 2 versus
Ah.
1. And that... No stun! There's a chance. There's a chance. Look, he's running away. Moria gets back into cover. And Suka's chasing. He doesn't know where Moria is.
spike.
Moria's just going to be waiting for this.
You heard?
Finding the spike at the back of the site. And yeah, he heard it indeed.
Paranoia
Paranoia?
on top.
Wow. Budi dengan makeup
Gets the
playnya.
clutch. Just on top of things. Moria so prepared for it. And Fancy United, they tried to go for the overwhelm. Boom, just answer backs accordingly. And they just got too
Itu dia,
close. I
bro.
think I heard the camera get the tag. He had an inkling of what the setup
did.
was, but in the end, just blinded by the paranoia. Enough for Moria to steal that one away. And we are tied up because of it.
Nah gini dong. Awal yang bagus.
Wow. I'm speechless, man. That is just a sick play. You don't expect that to happen, but he timed it perfectly. You think he might have just slow pushed it, but Paranoia into the TP, and you're right, the tag through that. I thought it was gonna be a clutch there from Suka, but no. And this is gonna reduce the capabilities here of Fancy United, but no, they still actually buy into the weapons, interestingly enough.
Yeah,
Ngechat,
United,
ngechat.
They have gotten that
Joke's over.
window control. They go for the run it back, but Cruz
Ngechat
can't
kalau mau
even
nambah poin
teleport
tadi.
the second time as Famous has advanced forward. NC Sasha shutting down Phoenix. Suka though on the
Waduh.
board, and here comes Suka with another one. The pinch possibility. The goop is there, but NC Sasha doesn't care. Needs a windshield wiper. Doesn't actually, as he's just wiping the floor of the opposition. 3 down to his hand. Yes, I can. The only one still standing. And in the 1v2, Fancy United has the scurry on the way because boom, they somehow hold off the opposition.
That's just, again, from just well placed, well able to receive the utilities from Boom here. Yes, I can. Just gonna run.
Kenapa kameranya kayak gini sih?
30 seconds left.
Anjing banget lo kamera ya.
Deserve it. No, he's just gonna plant there right
Lucu
in
sih
the
tapi.
open as soon as he can.
Spike
Once they
planted.
hear that, they're gonna run on to A, and this is where Yes I Can allow himself to figure out a position. The big problem here is that it's a guessing game on either side. Yes I
Pneumatic
Can
manja ya.
has to play tricky, has to
Lihat
figure
tuh.
out which entryway his opponents could be
Asik.
coming from.
Anjay.
No,
Keren sih sebenarnya ini.
Made noise. Now he knows that they're gonna be coming through spawn.
Yeah, it's two of them though, scrambling in. Yes, I can. Getting ready from long. I do wonder if he has a dizzy to utilize.
Wah,
However,
ini
no
kalau dapat
utility
satu
whatsoever.
bisa bahaya nih.
Boom now. Be going for the stick for Berserks. Find him. He's in cover.
Lah, dia
Shiro
nggak
fall,
tahu.
but it doesn't
Lah,
matter because
kocak.
Boom Esports found the corner to play from, and they will.
Salah
be able to
ngadep
stick
dia
around
pas
still.
planting bomnya, bisa dipis di situ lah, kocak.
Yeah, again, there was nothing left really there for Yes I Can in terms of utility. Not the same when he had the breach, and he already used basically everything to get it started when they were trying to push for that C long. So that's going to be something, but he is nearing that thrash, at least for this moment. What is also good for Fancy is I thought that they were going to get reset, but no, considering what's been happening, they're still able to fund their weaponries here, which is going to be perfect for them. They're going to be charging right now onto A long. There's going to be a quick dart. Moria's going to just throw out his paranoia, possibly their reposition. The risk is real.
Nih gamenya,
I don't know if he's going to get
ini yang
scanned
seperti
here,
gua ajarkan ya.
but Boom Esports immediately claim A house, A main, and stop the attacks of Fancy at all costs.
Yeah, lobby's all theirs, but Fancy doesn't care. They move into B after seeing all that presence. They know Boom Esports has committed on that spot. And Fancy quickly, the rotation giving them an avenue to just set up well for the post plan. So Wingman on spike duty. Good job, little bro. The rest of Fancy, though, they're taking link control. The roll thunder, the answer in response for Boom Esports. Shiro also going for the darts just to go for the clear on close. But the Blaze Bolt is there. Jin gets one. Shiro responds in kind.
Untung,
And Boom
wah gila sih.
cannot find a way through the flames. The Dizzy, though, scouting at mid. Now this
Ya, ya,
wow!
wow!
From the link,
Risky!
with the two. Yes, I can. Gets to his own, but Famous now up in hand. 2v1. A scramble yet again as Cruz has to play all by his lonesome. A smoke criminal to steal the life of Moria, but still needs to deal with Famous who's running out
Whoa!
of time. Classic classic
ada tim
kill,
loh.
but he can't find the spike. Has
Ada
to
ya?
disengage.
Aduh,
Fancy
nggak
will
apa-apa lah,
win this
ente.
time.
To have a commitment
Nggak tahu
there
sih,
for
ada time
Boom
apa
to
enggak.
create that
Ya
A-main
bunyinya
control.
juga kayak nggak ada.
It looked like it could have worked if Fancy still committed the push out, but then Fancy was just, yeah, let's just go straight for B. We still have so much utility. We still have, of course, the capabilities of just the Wingman planting the spike for us. It's going to be way easier. You can have more eyes, more people to hold more angles, and it just works out for them. And yes, I can. What incredible shots he's been hitting here. Now, this is where Boom start to lose control once again. It's been a back and forth act this entire series, and I'm loving it.
I mean, the rounds have been wildin', to say the least. They have been very much so as close as can be. It just really goes to show again, level of competition so even right now in this tournament. Famous prepared with the off, but Suka swings from the angle, does expect from. And Fancy United, they've netted two already. Shiro, though, will respond with the frag on the Jin. Real theft now the answer, and from this point on, Fancy United, they're bringing the spike towards A. They're setting up early on already. Berserks is the only one with a chance to really stop them. Staying in the window right now, smokes into play, so Fancy will get that down.
Spike planted.
Yeah, the other plan here for Boom is just to pick up a weapon on mid, just at least get themselves a rifle or so. I think they were able to try to do so, which they are. I wonder if they're gonna try to do another one of those thrifty retakes, but I think it's a whole lot more different right now. No smoke on heaven, but they do have eyes just set up there. Man, yes I can. Just been so good at clearing everything. Berserks. No chance to really peek through anything. Yeah, this is just going to be a cleanup round.
Yeah, Fancy United just gonna disengage. Boom Esports Oh, Berserks, poor Berserks. I do wonder if Boom has any much rifles to really work with now. They're just gonna go for the save anyway. This is where Fancy United can finally
Malam ini ada
start building up
panggilan
their economy, because if you notice
malah-
the past few rounds, Asteroid, they've been so scrappy. that neither
ketutupan
side
emot,
has been able
Jir.
to build up much on the
Melatih.
department.
Oh.
Boom, though, there's still an
Melatih apa?
operator here for Famous. You got the
Halo,
rifle
saha
still in
weh.
hand.
Saha weh.
They at least have a fight
Wait,
to
2,
work with,
3
a
cuy.
fight to work
Ini
with
kayak
moving into
ketat
this one.
gini cuy.
100%. It's been a little bit more difficult though. The smoke setup, the coverage that they're giving themselves because of Cruz is working well, because they can just stay inside that,
Buset.
flash out, and then start to bully
Udah satu
through.
sama.
Now again, the Thrash is still active. There is an opportunity
Kapan
to
grinding lagi?
make it work out for
Boleh.
them.
Main
Possible
sama
attacks to
main sama Cadel.
make Boom
Enggak ada.
flinch.
Cadel enggak
But
ngechat
this is where
salah.
it gets a lot problematic for Boom. I don't think it's the site itself, but the mid control that is lacking from Boom that is making them guess a whole lot more where Fancy is trying to create this this opening.
I mean, what happened the last time they contested mid, right? They were just felled by Fancy as quickly as possible. Jindo moving in towards B. And Cyber Cage.
Flash. Busuk Dani
Work with
Rizky.
it. Look at the play for
Ayut lah.
Fancy. It's the Cypher, the relative smoker here for the flasher that is
Oh, dia
Jin
tahu,
now.
Jing. What
And
the
run it
fuck,
back,
man?
Runs into Shiro. Poor old Shiro.
Anjing, yang action
Victim
cuma Cypher.
to the Phoenix's
Phoenix,
rampage.
cok.
From this point on,
Jebal.
advantage is clear for Fancy. They take this B site. We go into post plant. Boom Esports has no real angle to work with.
Yeah, it's the same thing I keep mentioning. They are going to be using these smokes, set up Jin inside of it. He flashes out. Everybody's not going to be expecting it, and then he
Aduh.
gets that pick. This is a problem here for Boom Esports. If they can't really punish the slow creep up that we're seeing Fancy bring to the table, it's not going to happen.
Fancy United, they're just gonna be backing on way towards A, and they understand exactly where Boom is stationed. They
Yang
didn't
jadi
clear out that
smoker,
B
Cypher, Jir.
angle. They still have an operator to
catch.
deal with. And Fancy United so far, they're just eking in extra value from the utility. The Phoenix and the Cypher, not the tandem you'd expect to play the entry, but it works out regardless.
Absolutely. And that also gave, again, so much problems for Boom Esports. And here's another issue. We're getting into that operator paradox, where you get an operator, you don't get value on it, and you try to save it every single round because it's expensive. So if that's what happens to Famous and he becomes a non-factor in this first half, that
In
just
the
means
first
it's effectively a 4
half.
versus 5 for a good chunk of again, this first half.
Well, the big reason why Fancy United goes for the B site is also because they can go for those clear corners as close as possible. And how can
Okay, emang
Berserk
bagus ya.
really, or Famous rather, play against that? He needs to be stationed at the right site at the start of the map itself. You can see now, Fancy United trying to go for that mid pressure yet again. Still not committing with the spike. They move into
Wah,
garage this time
kalau
around.
dia dapat guard sih
Might be for
najis
Boom
sih
because
jujur.
Berserk has his setup.
Nice
Running
banget.
the Scout on, and as soon as that happens, yes,
Wah,
the
udah
can is
bagus
already
banget ini.
gone from the
Gecko-nya
game.
dapat.
Also,
Nggak ada
some
ulti.
Fames lying in wait. The smoke's there though, the blaze, allowing at least Fancy United to go for the cross. But as soon as Fancy established pressures towards C, the lockdown is the answer, and Fancy's just trying to find a way to actually play around it.
They're not gonna plant yet. They have to wait the duration of that lockdown before they try to do anything. Couple of the flashes and smokes being thrown out.
Wah, saling
immediately here,
counter,
so they
Jir.
don't just flush out anybody playing at the back of the site.
Mampus.
That's going to be the plan, but once before the smoke actually comes in, sets in, Famous hits the
Mah,
shot.
And Boom
Nyabun
is
manja.
prepared this time around.
hmm.
Moria's there too, as the rest of Boom flood in
Whoa.
towards the site. A snake fight lineup buys some time, but there's no one left for Fancy United to collect any other kills. And look at the difference when Fancy United runs into the setup
Aku
of
nge-lag,
Boom
kenapa
Esports,
kamu
where
nge-lag?
they're
Oh,
prepared, they are immediately felled. Berserk's good for it, Famous good for it, and the rest of the crew followed suit.
Yeah, they just need to figure out how to stop this early initial bout. The first highs of each and every round. You know, the high hellos, they got to figure out how to greet their opponents accordingly. Somehow they were able to do so. Berserk's actually shifted a bit of his utility rather than it
Dari
being all on
Vietnam.
He kind of equalized it to Garage and the B site because he just wants to be able to clear that, or rather defend it without really giving himself to the three players. Because again, the initial bout here of Fancy is so strong that Boom somehow have to manage to just kind of
Bang
play
Gacha
around
masih sering latihan bang. Ada rumor lu masuk ke franchise. Amin.
Fancy United now. And again, establishing that mid presence has been par for the course so far.
Gila sih.
Clearing out utility.
Berani banget
Towards
mereka.
Garage, though, this time
Main
around.
dry
And we've
dry
seen
doang.
this from Jin.
Right there.
He loves to try and play for that window control. A place he can pop out though with the curveball. And it feels like for Boom Esports, slowly but surely they're
Waduh,
understanding
kenapa
that they
numpuk di
have
situ
to be
semua ya?
wary of those kind of
Oh, dia mau
corners.
retake, dia mau retake,
Where
dia mau
will
retake
Jin
lagi
be effective?
Garage.
Where will he be least effective? B side though, looking at possibility with the hot
Hancur
hands.
gak sih itu turret? Enggak.
Yet again, just trying to draw attention away from the real intention.
Wah
by
anjing
moving
sih.
into Garage one
Cara
more
main
time.
fancy ini najis sih cuy.
It's a game of psych out here, Asarai. And even we don't know where Fancy United will eventually go. But the thrash is the call, and C is looking like...
Nah, itu dia ya.
Trying to get in there. Jin already fall to the hand of Berserks, and the Hunter's Fury is on from Boom Esports, covering far from afar. 30 seconds left. Fancy
30
United,
seconds left.
they're trying to scramble into A. They go from the
Gila
shadows.
dia Kak.
and
Aduh.
eventually, they'll find a site to put that spike down.
He has to plan for safe. It's still very doable here for Fancy United. It will at least
Wah tai
get
sih.
net the rotation of
Masih
the
dapat
entire
clean sih,
map.
masih winnable jing. Dia habis ke
Now, just
Garage.
pressure for Boom Esports. Big flags
Cabut.
actually coming in from
Boomnya
Famous right now.
retake.
He's got the blades. If he's fast enough, he might be able to call into the side with his own team.
Stun comes on up. Dizzy's
Mampus
out
lu,
through,
anjing.
but Shiro fine. Yes, I can.
Wah!
Cruz.
Cruz!
Where
Di
with
setiap
strong
sudut
hand,
kamu di situ
Boom
terus ya,
Esports
anjing.
capitalizes on that fact. And while
Agak
Suka's
lain loh si
all
Cruz
alone,
ini, coy.
he's too far off to do
Pokoknya
anything
dia
with this
posisinya
fight.
sudut-sudut
Boom has gotten the
terus,
retake
Jir.
going, and they have tied up this score. Well, Boom
Tiap di
Esports, as of
pojokan
right now,
ada
they're finding
Cruz.
the answers against Fancy United. And what's impressed me the most actually is the way they're trying to keep each other alive. They realize they just have to be careful of those small gaps that Fancy United's creating, right? With the cyber cages, with the blaze wall, they don't need to contest it because of that curveball possibility plus the dizzy. If they stay back, they have the advantage.
I saw all of that too, by the way.
It's
I
true.
didn't have a technical difficulty at all. Yeah,
Vietnam. Kok Filipina sih?
that fact. Shiro's actually pushing up very far forward into a lobby here. Cruz has gone for the quick TP. Once that fall,
Nah,
comes
itu
in,
dia.
all hell will break loose.
Waduh,
Dizzy,
waduh.
flash. Oh my god,
Oh,
the
nice
shot guard,
one.
but no. Moria comes in once again,
Down A.
boosts himself on top. Is
Wah,
Jin
ini
aware?
bagus
That's
banget ya
going to be the
posisinya nih.
question. 2 versus 4.
They haven't even seen
Dua-duanya,
this
dua-duanya.
one. They've only heard it a few rounds
Wah, dicek
ago.
nggak ya? Waduh,
This
dicek.
might be Moria's
Oh!
surprise. Suka though,
Tempeng nggak sih,
quite
Bud?
aware, still loses anyway. And Jin, what is the escape
Alah, siya,
plan?
boy, kocak.
Apparently, the next round it is. Boom, take the lead from here.
Actually, just going to say, there's been some really good aftershock plays here from NC Slasher. First up was that one just to catch out Jin. The other one was on Garage, where you saw the thrash was being thrown out by Yes I Can and the push out from Jin, and both of them actually gets tagged by it. So these timely use of that aftershock hindering the plays here.
Oh, Fnatic nih.
Fancy
Enggak ya?
United. So big stuff coming in from them. Could be a
Cuma
big
disuruh
push here from
mantekin.
Boom on mid as well.
Woi!
Get that quick
Apaan tuh?
control. Don't really care as they know that it's going
Woi,
to be
apa?
a main
Pang.
push almost every single time here for Fancy.
Yeah, well, the camera's there. The Fancy
Bang Haco
United,
tidur, Bang jam berapa
far
nggak
for the
tahu,
course,
kocak nggak
putting
pernah
the
coba.
presence towards long, trying to figure out at least a way to get that orb control going back into their favor. So Boom Esports, they have rotated onto the back side, looking to reinforce Berserks if ever, especially with the 2 initiators. Jin though with the curveball,
Waduh,
Monfit's there to
apa ya
provide
tanggal
pressure.
piro?
And from that point on, Boom scrambling to find the safe
Ah,
movement.
pegang
Berserks
tuh
is
Molly,
the one trying to
anjir.
build a paradise that Fancy
Anjing, rata,
United
cok.
is ruining right now. Fancy's on side, Fancy side to take, and this is
Sabar,
effectively
Pang.
over
Gua
unless
ini dulu,
Moria
Pang.
can make a miracle happen.
Gua sekalian cek itu.
Quite difficult. He does have smokes to assist him a little bit here,
Nanti deh gua kabarin pasti.
but it's not even actually he's not even available right
Engkau
now.
lu, kayak
Might
tai.
be able to get a catch.
Engkau
Can
lu
give
tuh
themselves a
Pang,
bit of
gimana
cover,
Pang
but
ya? Harus
look at how
diapain ya?
just
Dipasung
close
kali ya?
Fancy United are playing with each other. 3 basically hugging the entryway of the A site.
Aduh, but.
Warrior, he's gotta
Nah,
work
itu
that out for him.
aduh.
Ooh,
Not working
yes, I
today.
can.
Yeah. Time card's not punched. Yes, I can. Instead, putting in the work. And Fancy United, it's getting very oppressive as right away they're taking these sites. Every time you have Jin getting in there, that's already an automatic curveball, right?
Na
Because
ra
Yes, I
ra
Can
ra
doesn't
ra
need to really
ra
save that Dizzy for that kind of fight. If he does use it though, it's covered by the initial flash. He can use the mosh pit also to flush out some initial angles that Jin can have contact with. And from that point on, Fancy just thrive in that struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is where Boom, as I mentioned, just has to figure out how to deal with that initial contact, with the initial aggression that Fancy has. Lucio setting up a line
Wah, dia
here
di-tag balik coy. Ini
on that
seru nih
C
coy.
side. Jin,
Udah
he's
mulai
gotta run it back. He can
ngebaca
just
satu
throw
sama
it
lain
anytime
nih.
he wants to, and Cruz, oh, they're stacked up in a spot
Tuh.
where his paranoia is gonna get
Tuh.
maximum value.
Udah
When they push
TP.
through it,
Ketahuan,
it's gonna be a
ketahuan.
nice
Nah
Warrior
kan.
Warrior Axe.
Soalnya
I think he's just confuddled.
di
The push
kameranya
from NC Slasher as well.
kameranya
Thinking
finish
he's gonna
kelihatan
get a catch
ada
to help
TP.
out his team as a last-ditch effort is gonna get ditched to the ground. 2 versus 5.
That's a hero call from Fancy United. That's a hero call from Jin. He used that run it back to become a human shield for the rest of the team since he knew the paranoia already hit them. And from that point on, establishing that first contact point allowed the rest of the garage players of Fancy to
Kamera
hold
apa
the
sih?
line down
Kamera
and protect him. Just
dead
popping his
cam
collar.
dia
So
pas
Fancy
ulti.
United, them getting the swing of things back as Shiro flicks over to find Tsuka. It will just be that here for Boom. Fisho is on the hunt, but Fancy have found
Wah,
their
ini anjing
confident
sih kalau dia
passing
mulih.
there as a right. They found their groove, especially on how they play the entry. And Jin is just clearing every single corner possible. Will he find one more target? Will
What
he find
the
Faces? Yes,
fuck,
he does,
man?
as he just
Yeah.
runs away from the scope of that gun. Fancy
Anjing
now at
lari-lari
6.
cok. Seorang Pamozin di delete, jing.
Yo, he Ferrari peaked. Famous day. I got no words, man. Jin is just running rampant against Boom Esports here.
Man, zoom in.
He literally just ran past. I thought Famous was gonna hit a flick there, and then nada, nothing. Oh, my head.
Na 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 na.
The fast and the
Na, na,
furious.
na.
Jin means family, basically. Because he is speed.
Ayo dong, 6 sama lah at least. Ini map pero nih.
On this map.
6 sama yuk.
He's just so
Bisa yuk,
willing to play
bisa
close
yuk,
against
bisa
everyone
yuk.
else. I mean, you're the Phoenix. Is basically what you do best. Watch it though. Gonna get lobbed. The Nano Swarm is popped in response by Berserk just to stop that initial plant. But Wingman
Anjing,
wasn't
nge-plant,
on duty as of yet. Now he's activated.
Anjing banget,
Puts
ada
the spike
Wingman.
down. The Viper's Pit online too.
Nge-plant,
And
coy.
Fancy building themselves a kingdom in the middle.
Wah, ada
Landing
ulti
perhaps
lagi si
heaven
anjing.
for Fancy United to
Wah,
go for it. Yes,
ini
I can.
chaos sih.
Marking the garage if ever. Rolling Thunder, the play for Boom.
Wah,
Coming into
gila.
this one,
Wah,
Famous already
gila.
gone. Berserks is done too. And it's only the
Oh,
forces
yeah,
of Boom
my
in the front
homie.
line that can fight
Bakar
back.
lagi
But the
Shiro.
hot hands isn't found in the sea of green. Jin
Waduh.
burns the target down.
Waduh,
Sasha
chaos
gets
ini.
the tap,
Jujur
the back
susah
one
nih.
in here for Fancy United. Shorty too. And here
Ya Allah.
comes Jin. Moria's gone. What can NC Sasher even do? Nothing.
Mainnya
Short
main
surprise,
sortie lagi tuh
not
mainnya.
just once but twice. And 2-round gap. Fancy United in familiar territory moving to the second half.
Tadi 75 juga ya
That's
di
basically
speed aja.
Valorant. You know, just being stuck in the center of everything and not finding nothing. You saw Shiro.
Jin kentut sih,
just-
boleh-boleh ya.
He just threw his hands up. He gave up.
Dibawa
Man. He
chill
was
itu.
just dying to the Molly, to the Viper Pit decay. Everything was just messing about Boom
Jin
Esports
kentut
here.
dapat
And
ini
what's
coy.
even bigger than that is just how strong the combination of Fancy truly has been. You talk about how, again, Jin can just get smoked by his own teammate. He flashes up in a very strong point of power, point of position. He gets the
Eh.
kill. And what's other than that is they can
Kaani,
make sure
kaani,
even
boom, kaani.
allow Jin to set up for the wingman so they can even get the free plant here.
Goes to show Fancy United They find ways to make these kind of compositions work, and the creativity we've been looking for Fancy United. It's really showing
Oh,
on
dia main
up here,
retake, dia main retake.
especially on Haven.
Pasti ada
Still
sesuatu
have the
nih.
double control
Lihat nih
standard,
retake-nya
yes.
cuy ya.
The Phoenix, the Gecko.
Nih, dia main
working
retake pasti
with
ada
Shadow,
sesuatu.
even with the Cypher. We love what we've seen so far. Boom, though, on the other hand, road to recovery starts here. They've been strong on the pistol all throughout the series.
Double.
Can it continue this time
Oh,
around?
nice
And
banget,
Slasher
Takel nggak buta, nice
proves
banget.
that with the
Nice
two.
banget, Boom,
He's
nice
one
banget,
more.
Boom.
The rest of Boom will follow his example.
Wah, ini malah nge-vlog
This is pretty
anjing.
much it. Suka, the lurking
Malah
from the
nge-vlog
previous
aing.
map. He's all alone now on an island. At least NC Slasher will be drowned with him. But so much more to be done.
Anjing kena recon,
Spotted
Cok.
out by the dart even. I don't really think Suka can do anything by this point.
Wah,
Good
anjir.
flick on Famous
Impressive.
there. True, but not impressive enough to clutch this round. No more time, and his opponents shouldn't really give any of that extra ult charges to this man. There you go. That's gonna be. Excuse me. That's just gonna be the cleanup for it. I lost my words there for a second.
What? You wanna do some tongue twisters real quick?
No,
Oke, harus menang.
I ain't twisting that tongue, brother. Anyway,
Round ini dia
Whoa,
jangan sampai kena
whoa,
thrifty.
I meant for the words, man.
Aggressive on cam.
Yo, chill.
This
Yeah,
man.
no, not what I meant. But I do like the idea there of the catch and off for Fancy here, where they threw out both the Dizzy as well as the curveball, but it didn't really work out. It wasn't in an angle that could catch anybody since they were all tucked in the corner. So you saw NC Slasher basically
Wah,
take down two
tebakannya
players,
benar nih, Kak.
but dropped, took fall damage, and it was 2 easy kills for him.
Yep, he just
Cakep.
greeted them as soon as they landed. Not the safe landing you expect at all in Boom
Retake
Esports
lagi
now.
anjing cuy.
Just going for a happy trail into A. Same
Harusnya
pace,
udah
same place.
terkir
NC
sih mereka.
Slasher putting that one down. Boom Esports, it's just a more standard retake on the pistols. Might
Tapi
as
gua
well,
nggak tahu
right?
ya.
Jindo throwing the hot hands here.
Wah, nggak buta.
From, yes, I can with the Dizzy
What
too
the fuck?
good. Snake bite though.
Oh,
Well
nice,
done.
nice,
Suka
nice,
not wanting
nice.
Just to be a bother, but Berserk.
Budi udah nggak kena
brilliant
tapi mati
with
Budi
three, but
diloncatin.
the Guardian at the end. So 7-7, Boom tie it up.
I like the idea of that snake bite to force out the graffiti player tucked inside that that corner, and it makes it easier for you to take to do that damage with the just because of the vulnerable status that you
Ini
get
soundnya ya
yourself out
tadi
once you get
tadi
hit by that
tiba-tiba
snake bite, but not gonna work out here. It's just a clear cut shooting gallery for Boom Esports, but I do like the ideas that Fancy have been
Ada
using
suara
in
yang
these,
aneh
tricky
gitu, anjir.
rounds, or their weaker buys.
I mean, Fancy, again, they know how to get the advantage with some of these corner clears. It's very apparent from how they played the first half. I enjoy with
Wah, ke garas
Fancy's
cepet,
lineups
Jir.
that he knows pretty much every single map with. But the job
Waduh.
truly begins here for Fancy United since they have the guns.
Wah,
Cyber Cage
Takel
can be in
bagus
the way.
banget,
Suka
langsung
trying to
ambil
go for
belakang.
a bit of attention. And NC Slasher.
Main retake
will he
C.
be the
Ini
big
bener-bener
man?
retake terus
Will
Jir
he be
mainnya.
the murderer
Ketahuan,
here?
ketahuan, ketahuan.
The barrel, I believe,
Ketahuan.
is Suka.
Takel tahu.
As he tucks away into the corner for now.
Oh, lu Takel kayak kejepit gini, coy. Buat tai nggak sih?
Right now, Azrai needs to make a decision, and
Aduh,
Fast
bener
and Cruz
anjing,
will do
anjing.
it for him. So the advantage here, Fancy United now on a retake.
Ada
Snake bites
flash
thrown
manja.
here. Scarna Dizzy,
enemy
Fancy
remains.
just blinding the opposition. And where is Berserks in all of this? Too far away to provide an impact. Because look who's
Oh, mati,
on
mati,
defuse
mati.
duty is Wingman. Now then, the spam breaks the Wingman though, so small chance here for Boom. Yes, I can. Getting the defuse going. Suka gets the 3K, but Fancy United will keep the lead intact.
Man, that was a
Duh, serem gini,
very,
coy.
very awkward position for NC Slasher to be in. He
Iya,
just
Takel
couldn't really
posisinya
get himself
jelek kan
out
ya.
of that box. But, well, again, bonus is a bonus for Boom here, and Fancy United, man, getting the kills, but his paranoia plays have been excellent in allowing Fancy United to, again, play off of
Waduh, Fikri kenapa
the
nih?
utility. We saw that happen in that that seaside retake. We see it happening throughout this entire Haven
Lanjut,
map.
Lev.
So
Iya,
it
gua
really
lagi
is allowing
tanya
his
yang lain
teammates
dulu.
to play off of it.
Tapi gua
Because
kayak
NC Slasher,
pengen
though, actually pushing up. Look at how close
kayak
Famous
pengen
is. Spots it out, backs away.
restream gitu loh.
So the step, and now he dashes on
Biar
out.
ini
Fancy
khusus.
United
Jadi
forces
kalau ada yang mau
number
nontonin
4
Watchparty
here.
replaynya,
towards the
Ya ini
A
gitu.
side. So instead, Boom, strong pivot to move elsewhere. They realize where Suka's at. They can't
Masih ada
actually
lower.
go into the site from this point on if they counted those numbers.
Pengen subaton jangan
That's
dong.
exactly
5
what
juta
Fancy
gua
Flash is
subaton
doing. So
sekarang
the site we
langsung.
get taken here
Gak pakai
by
lama.
Boom. Fancy United,
Langsung
though,
gua mulai.
to see if anyone
Dari
is still
30
lying
jam.
in wake. Famous is the one who's all alone now. Show spots him, kills him on the spot.
Aduh,
It's a beautiful beginning here for Fancy on the
Kena lagi
retake.
gua ntar.
Ult line though gonna be the call.
Kalau di sini ke lower bracket benar.
But here comes Dizzy yet
Anjing,
again.
retake-nya rapi banget dah orang-orang ini.
You will see absolutely
Oh,
nothing.
nice tak, nice tak.
Rolling Thunder, the only
Aduh,
hurrah here from
tandain dong,
Boom
tandain
now.
dong, tandain dong.
The
Ping,
Blaze
ping, ping,
Wall
ping, ping,
in
ping.
the way.
Yang mati ping, yang mati ping.
Has already started to
Tak.
keep some of this point on.
Oh,
Nice shot
almost
on the
is
cruise, but that's all
never
he'll get.
enough.
Fancy United, utility is king, and they are crowned around.
Man, the
Butuhnya
timing
emang
for
5
the
juta,
utility, as
maksudnya.
is mentioned for Fancy United here, is just
Ngasal
so
ceplas-ceplos
perfectly
aja.
placed, so perfectly coordinated that it puts Boom Esports in a position where they just can't help each other. You saw there the isolation, the catch, and this is
Waduh.
the thing that we were
Halfbay manja dong ini, coy.
during the split map.
Fikri kenapa nih,
where
Fikri?
It just feels like there's a lurk gonna be coming from Boom Esports.
Atau sama
but the
ini,
counter
netbot.
work for Fancy
Ini,
United
ini,
and then the people left onto the
merah-merah
side
ini.
just really can't find that rhythm.
Udah
And
menang,
now Fancy
masing-masing menang
United,
satu map.
After for
Ini map terakhir.
so long in this entire series, they're the ones that have a considerable advantage. They're the ones that have this round lead, and it's forced
Bisa lah,
Boom
kan
to
ini
try to go a lot
beda
more
Watchparty.
faster in this pushes, as we can see on that C site.
Yeah,
Kamu
it's a full
kayak
send,
lupa
but the
aja.
problem is they still haven't found the answer for the same old problem. Stay on site, you will lose all of your sites.
Wah,
Now,
gila.
boom, they go into
Gila.
the hard contest with the Stinger. Suka
Di
gets
backup,
two, Suka getting
anjing.
4. Suka gets the rest.
Itu udah bener tuh.
Fancy
Nyamperin
United
si
make it 10.
Suka. Udah bener, Jir. Nyamperin Suka, tapi ada yang
already
backup, cok.
In that fast lane and trying to just retake site to site. 7 to 10 now. 3
Waduh.
more rounds, Dax. 3 more rounds. And they actually push down Boom.
Mereka udah
into
tahu
the
mau ngapain
lower
gitu loh
bracket.
retake-nya
I
si
never thought that I
Fancy.
would say that, but here we
Sebenarnya Boom
are.
nggak salah
Fancy
ngelakuin
is
itu.
on a
Dia
roll.
mencari
I think I like the idea though from Boom in that last round.
mencari
Yes,
kill,
those
tag
Stinger
tempat
rush
gitu,
might as well
kontrol
go for the
tempat
full
karena dia
send.
udah
But
plan.
they have to realize this,
Ambil
that
garage
they're
karena
looking
mereka
by
punya SMG.
the curveball.
Tapi anjir loh, mereka tuh ada yang jaga, cok. Kok nggak harusnya mati tuh
And
Suka tuh.
all the angles that they stay on site with. How can they
Ada aja
actually
one way-nya
try
tuh.
and get that earlier on?
Ujang
They tried to
enam
go
ini
for
orang
slow play just to
jing
bait out
kontot.
utility. Hasn't really panned out as well. They went
Wah,
for
ini
the
bisa
full send a while ago.
Ikon.
Time around, they're trying to play into the garage. The
Ah,
flash there.
kabur.
Suka though keeping
Ah, iya,
them at
one
bay
way
with
sih
the one way. And for the
ngeselin,
time
Jir.
being, Fancy United keep control of garage.
One way lagi, Jing. Cabut lah udah.
Push them back first. This is
Udah nggak guna
Oh.
itu di situ.
danger territory for Boom right now. I feel like after they lose this round, there's gonna be nothing left
Udah
for
bener
them
nih
to
ayah.
use.
Waduh. Bisa ada trick, Jing.
Creeping up
Dia,
on A-Lock
dia main
towards
C.
the lane. It's only gonna
What
be
the
Jin
fuck, man?
actually receiving that contact, but
Ini kalau
does
si
have assistance.
Oh, ada stun tapi.
Suka's tripwire there.
Waduh, kena
he can
tripwire
catch
kah?
Famous right now. This is gonna be
Oh,
perfect. He's
untung
trying to
aja
wait for it
sadar.
to break it down before he does anything, and there it
Wah, ada
is.
smoke ginian.
Thrash, Jin into the corner.
Here we go, Jin's on duty, but Famous
Waduh, ada yang
won't
kena.
find him. Here, though,
Ah,
Vicious
nggak ada yang
still
cek lagi
sticking on the
posisi
round.
itu, coy.
Cruz also helping on out, and Fancy United, they have the numbers back in their favor. Paranoid also
Aduh.
into play. Cruz, okay. We see he'll get it at
Kok
the
kalau
end.
gini ceritanya
For them,
cocok.
Fancy it now,
Anjir.
make it a 4-round lead.
Wow.
Iya, bisa ada trap loh. Nah, pause.
Look lost
Chill.
in that fight.
Nah, ini yang gue bilang nih.
Out here. And those separation with
Kayak
the smokes,
kalau
too.
isinya anak muda semua
Such a
tuh
difficult
problemnya
time for
tuh
them.
kalau
I think
misalnya
there's also a lineup
momen-momen
that we
kayak
saw
gini nih bisa
from
nggak mereka
Fisho there.
ngatasinnya
The
gitu.
smoke that was placed
Coba
on
kalau
that
misalnya
eight-corner
mereka
into
bisa
the
nge-comeback,
and we've
bagus,
been seeing
Jir.
Omens actually put a smoke there so defenders can
Berarti
actually play around it a whole lot more
gokil.
efficiently so that attackers won't be able to flush you out, right? And they kind of do the same thing with Fisho, allowing Jin to tuck himself there. They were
Mereka
so
mainnya random
convinced
si
he was
Fancy ini.
gonna be on
Cypher
spawn,
main
that they
di
didn't
garage
even
tapi ada
consider
trap
to
coba
try to
dia.
flush it
Setan
out
naga
more
itu
than
orang.
TP in, and you could already see
Bener
that
lah,
it
harus
was a
gimana?
big mistake. Couple that with
Mereka
the rest of
memang
the utility
ngandelin
that
retake
Fancy,
sih dari tadi.
with the response of the members coming
Mana
into
ya?
the site with
Utility-nya
crash
bagus
everything.
sih. Dia bisa taruh trap di sini, mainnya di garage. Terus Vipernya tadi bantu garage sempat kan nge-molly. Tapi ada smoke. Anjing, ngedelaynya bagus banget, cok. Paling benar ngambil A sih. Ngambil A perangin. Habis itu after plan. Udah after plan. Soalnya mereka tuh rata-rata udah masuk side. Masuk side tuh. Masuk side, dap plan. 3 kali. Ini dong nih, udah masuk side juga sebenarnya. Cuma nggak sempat plan. Detailnya GG. Nah ini nih, Ras nih.
Here we go again.
Main cepat, main cepat.
Mau
nggak sih, Bud? Kaki lu kelihatan, Bud. Bud! Lu kenapa, Bud?
Yep.
What the fuck you doing, Bode? Ngetro nih Budi ini anjing. Bud, smoke lah, kenapa lu nggak mau smoke? Lu udah pasti ketahuan, Ci. Oh, kaki lu. Nah ini loh, retake-nya ini loh. Dia double flash. Flashnya Gecko sama flashnya Phoenix itu tuh. Haram, jir. Aduh, Shiro sendiri lagi.
Fighting back with the 2K of his own. That's all he gets, and instead we get this as right. Fancy United have been on a tear, and now they're at
Flash
series
Gecko
4.
mesti ditembak. Mau nggak mau nih. Dia kenapa serentakin Flash Phoenix sama Gecko? Jadi orang fokus nembakin Flash Gecko, buta sama Flash Phoenix.
Fancy United, how many rounds were they able to get in second half?
Wah gila coy.
Only 2 Dax, and Fancy United, as you mentioned, we're already here at the finish line. They're just about to
Wah
cross
kalau
it.
gini
Is that
ceritanya
fire
sih.
boom? They got some things that they can maybe try to use, but that's not the big issue. It's the big issue.
Gua bingung ya coy. Gua kira line up ini tuh udah unbeatable di saya anjir.
Been talking about so long in this entire third
Tapi
game. Can they even do
gua
it?
yakin
Is
banget
the question. You're seeing right now Fancy
Boom ini ya, sebenarnya playernya tuh kayak
create some tempo here
udah
on mid.
pakem,
On the
udah
rest of Boom,
hatam di role-nya masing-masing, intinya gitulah.
thinking that no one's gonna be on the A side.
Shiro emang sofa man, Takel emang initiator man,
Berserk is doing so.
Pikri emang duelist man, Rizky juga sebelumnya Sentinel, apalagi Budi emang controller man, kayak gitu loh maksud gua.
On the retake instead, they just make it a scramble for a Boom who are completely lost on where Fancy United is gonna come from, especially with all the utility. It's been the case throughout this half, but the Hunter's Fury now, as Shiro
Lihat
tries
tuh,
to seek a
Shiro.
target, gets a tag.
Cyphernya sih kesel sih jujur. Kenapa tiba-tiba ke gua sih kentot naga kata dia. Lihat nih ya. Tuh. Oke, lu lihat ngocor nih, percaya nggak sama gua? Perang jing. Untung Budi nggak ketahuan TP di situ. Nice boy.
He's ready
Ini loh.
go for more. And with the plant now
Ini loh yang
going on
diliputin
down,
loh.
everything is left to Suka.
Ayolah, 1 lawan 3.
Trying to check out Graffiti first and foremost.
Alas ya boy
Can't
suka.
go for the fight, but Berserks just swings away. And Boom Esports, they survive for now.
They survive.
Iklan masuk.
for
Makanya
now.
join membership.
4 rounds.
Makanya,
Max, 4 rounds,
donat,
and they
donat,
put so much
donasi.
emphasis on that A side. Thankfully,
Ayolah,
they were able
saling
to,
support lah.
realize
Iklan
there was
itu
more
jangan
to
di-skip
make
ya, guys.
it meets the eye, and just they don't want to try to fight that. Just try to go
Ayolah,
straight for
cuy.
that A side. If there's anybody else there, the Rolling Thunder is gonna allow
Makanya join
Famous
membership,
and
gak ada iklan.
teammates to just
Real
push it
ini mah.
out a whole lot more smoothly here, which they did. Even though they didn't get anybody tagged right there, it forced
Di,
everybody.
kita lihat nih, kontes A nih, kontes A. Ini penentuan hidup dan mati Boom nih. Kontes A, lihat ya. Bener-bener jebol.
Boom, okay, the close contest.
Bantin, bantin Fikri. Allah sya boy
Fancy,
updraft.
though, very aggressive now
Oh.
on the defense. Cruz gets
Wow.
away because of the
Astaga.
ulti. And Mario was
Oke,
trying to
menang,
give
menang
chase,
trade, menang
but he
trade.
at least
Menang
snaps
loh.
back. Boom though has NC Slasher. He's just been killing. He's just been finding these picks.
Menang, menang,
And from
menang.
this point on,
Mantap,
Boom
mantap.
is ready to take A yet
Ayo.
again. Plant now
Rizky,
going
ready
down.
senjata.
Here we go. It's Deja
Suka
Vu,
lagi.
and it's the same
Mati
assault.
lagi.
Boom Esports
Dengan posisi yang sama.
They've done it again.
Lau kocak banget.
That was the same ending.
Akil udah
as well, by the
GG
way.
ya.
That was the same push too, just very aggressive.
And the
trying
same
to play out the A
players.
side. Same.
It's like Suka versus Berserk's Graffiti Part 2, Director's Cut.
they can keep doing that. That's gonna be
11-13 lagi nggak
It's
sih,
gonna
Cok?
work wonders here for
Nggak
Boom
bisa lah.
Esports.
Kalau 11-13
We'll see how that
berarti
goes, though.
Ridwan kamu
Slasher
mendukung Fancy
nearing
United ya?
This Rolling Thunder once
Kan
again.
nggak mungkin 11-nya Fancy
There's a
kan?
lot more presence now for Fancy United. Not to
Alah,
be on
Ridwan
site, but on long. Jin put a contact once more. Has a lineup with Molly, but it's Fishio who's going to be put to the test here.
Wanjing.
Look at the
Wanjing.
peek. Oh, look at the kills! Cruz can even get a
Os
third.
Bokong,
But
Os
he gets
Bokong.
overwhelmed 3 versus 3, but the A-long push actually catches them off guard. Here's throwing it back.
Back play, Jin's getting in there, but Shiro at least removing that second life
di
from the
ult-
equation.
di ulti ya?
Now then, Fancy United
Oh,
can
bisa
they continue
kabur,
on
Cok.
with the pressure
Bagus
to lock that
banget.
player, though. Just
Mereka
had
dapat
to try to
sepi
trick
ke,
the spike, but look at
anjing.
the Fancy United station now, hereby to guard them.
Holy
Waiting
shit,
for
man.
Boom to see if anyone will peek.
Wah,
Now
gila.
Boom is in a bad
Wah.
spot now. Berserk's trying
Bersat!
to make it
Waktunya
work.
kamu bersinar, Bersat!
He gets one more, 3 for the round. The wingman though,
Oh,
looking
takut
to
anjing,
give
guys,
a
Icon.
little bit of intel.
Sama Berserk.
Berserk's
Respect dia anjir sama Berserk.
to put themselves in a position to get this spike. Fancy United,
Respect
yes,
dia, Cok.
I can. He's rotating away, trying to anticipate the plant instead.
Waduh, main games lagi nih.
Brain reads here from Yes I Can. Berserk might not. I think Berserk has to be
Aduh.
aware of this because he did.
Bukan suka lagi kalau last man
He didn't
suka
hear
menang
anything
Rizky.
for so long on that turret. So
Timing. Oh shit man, timing man.
And is somewhere here. The question is, how near is he? He's gonna have to try to bait something.
You heard that? And yes, I can.
Spike
Just
planted.
waiting
Shit man,
now.
shit man. Berserk.
Potential swing.
Oh nice,
Berserk
nice.
Spotted. Yes, I can.
Ah,
Creeping forward.
shit.
Yes, I
Jet
can.
creep.
More like he will clutch.
Lele cuy, pantatnya
It's
cuy.
the end of Boom Esports in the upper bracket.
Lihat, cuy,
Fancy
pantatnya, cuy.
United moves on to the next round.
Yes.
Incredible.
Dia ngepicknya
creative
crap anjing, padahal
fight of
si
Fancy
Rizky udah
United
pas
style
loh crosshairnya.
here in the second half, man. 13 to
Nice try
9 to
untuk
take
Boom.
the
Masih
series
panjang
2-1.
perjalanan cuy.
What
Karena
a hard read.
Besok ya main lagi ya cuy ya.
Yes, I can there.
Kalau kalah.
Okay, very.
Tuh, babik lah. Padahal legend mereka tuh nggak ada sofa, jir. Apa? Habis ini latihan kayaknya mereka, cuy. Shit, man, sayang banget. Berarti mereka turun akan melawan Pundamoni ya. Pundamonium siapa? Siapa ini, cuy? Harusnya ke sini sih. Yang ini baru ke sini. Shit, jadi panjang perjalanan. Sangat sayang banget, cok. Kota kemanis. Sabar. Aduh, Fancy lagi. Ini siapa sih yang ngebet Fancy? Guts. Menang terus, cok. Yaudah, ente lah, ente. Kalau mau kota gua live membership aja kali ya cuy. Setuju nggak kalian? Makanya kalian join membership cok. Jadi gua restream. Oke ya. Yaudah, gua off stream dulu ya sebentar ya sambil gua rehat, gua toilet bentar, habis itu gua stream membership, oke? Jangan lupa join membership ya, guys. Ditunggu. Quick. Ntar cuy. Bye bye. Boom kapan lagi main sih? 3 November. Oke. Besok ya? Besok jam 8 sih boleh. Story oke. Dadah.